Live from Prince Edward High School, it's time for Colonels football. Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country. I am Kyle Hoehne, pleased to be back with you once again, and a special treat for you tonight. Oscar Briggs is away on assignment, so we get the old pro. We get Dave Hoehne back in action. Dave, great to see you on a Friday night.
Well, thank you. It's always good to be out on a Friday night, see some high school football, see these young athletes performing here, and just an exciting atmosphere in the air.
It is an exciting atmosphere. I think the weather has something to do with that. Last week it was mid-90s around this time. It's kind of hard to get excited about much in that temperature, but now you seem to have brought the great weather with you.
Well, the weather has changed here toward the weekend, and we may get some rain before it's all over, but yeah, it is much more pleasant this week. I think it'll still be a little bit warm for the guys out on the field, but for the fans, it should be a great evening.
Yeah, I have a feeling the boys in the pads are still going to break a sweat for sure. Before we hear from the head coach, Mike Sharnes, on the Subway pregame show, let's mention briefly the Altavista Colonels got off to a great start last week. They beat Central Lunenburg 33-19. I say a great start. They trailed in the early part of the fourth quarter there, Dave, and then really poured it on. 3 touchdowns from Shaheem Pinnell, 2 long ones on the ground, and then an interception return TD. That was sort of the icing on the cake, but all in most respects anyway, the Colonels did look pretty good for week one.
Yeah, some of it came down to who made the mistakes, but that's the case in any football game, and that was the first game of the season, so you expect things to smooth out as practice continues during the week for these guys and just get better and better from there.
The Prince Edward Eagles come in at 1-0 as well. They beat Windsor 62-7 last week. We'll talk about that some when we come back to the Subway pregame show. We will hear from the head coach of the Altavista Colonels, Mike Sharnes, get his thoughts on last week's ball game and get a little scouting report here on the Eagles. I'm Kyle Hoehne. He is Dave Hoehne. It's the Subway pregame show. Kickoff between the Eagles and the Colonels set for about 27 minutes from now. You're going to hear all the action live on 105.5 KD Country.
How do we make a better sandwich at Subway? Our new Chicken Caesar Melt is a great example. We start with tender rotisserie-style chicken that's raised without antibiotics. Top it with a savory Caesar sauce and add melted provolone and a sprinkle of Parmesan cheese for a flavor that's so deliciously unique, it redefines what a better sandwich should taste like. The all-new Chicken Caesar Melt from Subway. Limited time only.
A short drive will save you money.
I'm Greg Walker with an exciting new offer from Feller Chevrolet. Purchase any new or used vehicle of Feller's and receive a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty and a 3-day, 100% money-back guarantee. Again, a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty and a 3-day money-back guarantee. At Feller Chevrolet, we stand behind what we sell, and we save you money. Come see us. You'll be glad you did.
A short drive will save you money. Feller Chevrolet in Altavista.
When you need an important business loan, you want to deal with a decision maker who will respond quickly. I'm Penny Wallace with local First National Bank at our airport branch. I'm focused on business customers, and we have a streamlined process to help you with any loan need. I can offer various business loans for real estate, new equipment, and credit lines. So for better business banking, think of us first. That's local First National Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
It's cold in here. Will your heating system keep you warm this winter, or will you spend a cold evening shivering under the covers? Have your heating system inspected today by Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling. Kent Tyree has over 20 years experience and specializes in heating, air, plumbing, and electrical, licensed and bonded. Call for an appointment today, 309-2266, 309-2266, Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling.
Your home for Colonel sports coverage, 105.5 KD Country.
We return to Prince Edward High School. The Altavista Colonels in town to take on the Eagles from Prince Edward High School. We're talking once again with the head coach of the Colonels, Mike Sharnes. And Coach Sharnes, it was a nice win last week. Good to get things started on the right foot. What were you thinking there when your team was struggling a little bit in the third quarter? You had back-to-back turnovers on those 2 possessions and looked like your back was to the wall a little bit. What was your thought process there before you guys turned it around in the fourth quarter?
Yeah, first my thought process was when we first stepped out on that field and warm-ups was I don't think I've ever felt any weather like this before. So we knew it was going to be an issue. And I think it was going to be both teams were going to play a lot of people both ways. We're very similar in size of our school. We didn't panic. Our kids didn't panic when we got down 19-14. Actually, Jake Adams returned a kickoff past the 50, and the next play Hoehne went for 6 in the end zone, and we took care of whatever thought process we had. So that was one of the things we talked to the kids Monday about, how we hung tough there. We didn't panic. I didn't see panic in their face. It was early in the fourth quarter, very early. 11 minutes left in the fourth. So we felt good at that point and finished real strong in that heat. Really pleased with the kids with that effort.
Well, you mentioned Hoehne Pennell with the big run. Talk about him and talk about how do you balance all the talented ball carriers you have, not just the 3 running backs, but Mateo Malbeck can run the ball, obviously, and you've got a handful of receivers that can do the same thing.
Yeah, we're trying to establish a little bit different an offensive way to go about things, and that's with some tight ends. We talked about it last week, and we have 3 good tight ends and H-backs, the same position, and we're doing some different things with them. And we've got our 3 tailbacks who, going into the season, were a little bit interchangeable, and I felt with Hoehne, it was that fourth quarter. He got a few touches during the course of the game, but his legs were very fresh, and was able to take advantage of that.
You going to try that rotation again where you try and keep him fresh, or that just depends on a game-to-game basis?
I think it's just going to be Coach Cobb, Ray Cobb's the coach of the running backs, and we'll sit down Friday, and we've sat down, and talked about how we want to rotate it. And it's when you have 2 or 3 backs, it's sort of, you don't say, you're going to play this quarter and you're going to play that quarter. You just got to go with a little bit of a feel as to how your offensive series is going, how many times are they in on a series, and just go with the rotation on feel. Pretty much is how it goes, and we feel good about Christian and Jonathan and Hoehne, all 3 of them.
Well, all 3 of them are playing defense too, so I know that'll factor in. Sometimes you get gassed out there making a couple tackles in a row. Let's talk about that defense now. Are you pretty pleased with the effort? I know you gave up more yards than you wanted to, particularly on the ground, but you guys were good on third down and you made some big stops when you needed them.
Yeah, I think, I don't try to – I look at the statistics, don't try to make past judgment after reading them. But our 2 turnovers with a team like Central Lunenburg, they rely on others' team mistakes and ball control and keep the ball in their hands. And they're known for running lots of plays and getting yardage and all. I thought overall our defense played just fine. We were physical up front with them because they had improved from last year. And I thought our down people did a real good job being physical with them, and overall it was for the first outing. But I was more pleased and proud of the effort that they put forth in that heat. I just thought it was a tremendous effort by our kids.
Last question for you, Coach Sharness, about last week. Then we'll talk about the Eagles. I'm sure you addressed the turnovers and the penalties.
Yeah, we can't. For us to beat Central Lunenburg, we weren't lucky by any means, but that's the formula to lose a game. And we talked about it at the Bluestone scrimmage. We had given up big plays on offense, which is a good way to lose ball games. And that's one thing that we didn't do on defense. We limit them to a number of first downs and yardages. They had a couple driving scores that they scored on us, but otherwise we played well defensively. We just can't. You can't go in and every Friday night and expect to win when you have the number of penalties we do and the turnovers. So, and they were unforced turnovers also. They weren't caused by the other team. So we'll see what happens here. You practice and work on things, and it's just a matter of executing it. I liked our offensive execution other than those 2 plays, the 2 fumbles.
Absolutely. Tonight it's the Prince Edward Eagles. Normally the MO is talented team, usually has some size, but sometimes undisciplined, and you can force into some mistakes. Is that pretty accurate with this year's version of the Eagles?
It looks like it on film. We haven't seen them live or anything. It looks like it on film. It looks like a carbon copy team where they've got a 6'5" quarterback who could throw the football, receivers that can run downfield, and big, tall kids that can run. And same thing defensively. They have good size, and they run to the football real well. I think for us, we got to play physical with them. and we've got to be disciplined. I think we got to win that battle, the discipline part, and then the kicking game. I think we've got an advantage in the kicking game. We've got to win that.
Should get a break from the heat tonight, Coach. Looking forward to it. Thanks again for your time. It's the Eagles and the Colonels. Kick off in about 20 minutes on 105.5 KD Country.
Hello, this is Jerry Miley from 1433 Altavista Moose Center. Asking everybody to come on down and join us and see what the Moose is all about, to help us support our Moose Heart, Moose Haven family. Anybody's welcome to come down and take a tour of our building and see what's going on. Come on down and we'll let you in and we can have some fun. We're looking forward.
Meet Jerry and the rest of the Altavista Moose family and become a member. The Altavista Moose Family Center on Lynch Mill Road.
English is so much more. English is more than a hardware store. English is.
My friends may call me the perfectionist, but at English's Building Supply, my neighborhood Davis paint dealer, they greet me by name. You see, I like to get things done exactly right, especially when it comes to my many painting projects. So I'm at English's Building Supply a lot, whether it's mixing the perfect Davis paint for my project or offering great incentives. They do business just the way I like it, perfectly. English's on North Main Street, Altavista.
Napa know-how.
You don't need an air-conditioned steering wheel or high-performance supercharger to use Mobil 1 full synthetic motor oil. Now just $5.79 a quart at Napa. Mobil 1 offers premium protection for all cars. Premium or not so premium. So give your ride Mobil 1 synthetic. Just $5.79 a quart. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
General States pricing. Sales prices do not include applicable state, local taxes, or recycling fees. Offer expires 9/30/16.
Brought to you by Napa of Altavista, proud supporter of the Altavista Colonels.
Good food, low prices, and great service keep customers coming back for more day after day at El Cazador Mexican Restaurant in Altavista. El Cazador is now open all afternoon, so you can come by anytime, any day, 11 a.m. till 10 p.m. El Cazador Mexican Restaurant, a great place to unwind and relax with friends. Open 7 days a week, Main Street, Altavista. El Cazador thanks you for your business.
Your station for high school sports play-by-play is 105.5 KD Country.
Back here from Prince Edward High School, it's the Subway pregame show. The Altavista Colonels in Farmville taking on the Eagles from Prince Edward. I'm Kyle. He's Dave. You just heard from the head coach, Mike Sharness, there. And Dave, we'll follow up on last week just a little bit. You heard Coach Sharness talking about that rushing attack. He said that Shaheen Pennell didn't get a lot of carries. The carries he did get, he made the most of, and maybe it was because he was fresh and the other running backs wore the defense down a little bit. That three-headed monster of Pennell, Christian Gilbert, and Jonathan Montague, it seems like that's going to be a force for the Colonels all year.
I think that could be a real weapon that the Colonels will be able to use throughout the season. If they keep rotating the backs, they won't be too worn down after 10 games or so, or maybe into the playoffs. So, yeah, Shaheen had 95 yards on 4 carries. So that's a big night for Shaheen. And, of course, the Colonels' offense last week, 226 yards, but the Central Lunenburg had 213. So the game on the ground was pretty even.
It sure was. It was a battle in the trenches, and you heard Coach Sharness mention that too. Thought the defense played just fine. They did give up some yards on the ground. They were very good on third down, though. I believe Central Lunenburg was just 2 of 11 on third down conversion attempts. So it seemed like the Colonels' defense stepped up when they needed to. They gave up 19 points, but some of that was off the turnovers. The offense didn't do them any favors there, and I know that's something that Coach Sharness would like to clean up. The other thing that probably catches your attention off the stat sheet, 10 penalties for Altavista that added up for 80 yards, for the Colonels. That's something that's going to need to get remedied, and you heard Coach Sharness kind of allude to it. If you give up 80 yards in penalties against a good team, a really good team, not that Central Lunenburg was bad, but if you give up 80 yards against, say, a Dan River or an Appomattox or a Rustburg, those types of teams, they're going to make you pay for it.
Absolutely. That's a big concern, and like Coach Sharness said, it's something to work on during the week. Try to get it worked out. Some of that was first game jitters, I think, for everybody.
Yeah, I don't think there's any football coach, even the professional coaches, that expect their team on week 1 to have no penalties. So I think Coach Sharness and his coaching staff was probably okay with some of the penalties, but you certainly don't want to commit 10 and not for 80 yards. This is the Subway pregame show, the weekend special at the Main Street, Walmart, and Gretna locations. You got to hear about this weekend special, Dave. 2 footlongs, any 2 footlongs for just $6. That's any 2 footlongs. That even goes for the premium footlongs. 2 footlongs for $6.
And this weekend?
Every weekend.
Oh,
that's the bonus there. That's the kicker right there. Not this weekend, every weekend. How incredible is that?
That
You're
is
getting hungry already.
Yeah, no kidding.
Well, you got your weekend plan set, so there you go. You can thank me later. Actually, you can thank Subway later. That's at the Main Street Altavista location, the Walmart location off Clarion Road, and the Gretna Subway location, too. So that's a nice thing that Subway is doing there, and we're excited to be bringing you the Subway pregame show from Prince Edward High School. Kickoff in about 15 minutes. We'll take another time out here and talk about the Eagles when you come back. It's Altavista. It's Prince Edward. You've got yourself a ringside seat on 105.5 KD Country.
Tonight's game is brought to you by these members of the KD Country Sports Club.
El Cerrito in Altavista. Throw on a sombrero, shake your maracas. It's El Cerrito time. Authentic Mexican cuisine only El Cerrito can serve up.
The Medicine Shop in Altavista, your Carolina boot headquarters with all sizes and styles of Carolina boots. The Medicine Shop, a full-service pharmacy.
One Stop Mart, Main Street, Altavista, where gas is cheap, beverages are cold, and the chicken is kicking.
They're doing it right at the Dairy Freeze. Hot dogs, burgers, fries, and of course, ice cream. Dairy Freeze on Main Street, Altavista.
Radio Shack in Crystal Bay Pools, Altavista, serving your area since 1989 for swimming pool installations, chemicals, liners, and more. PCM Industrial of Altavista offers mobile welding and repair services, fully equipped service trucks and certified craftsmen, and quick response to satisfy your needs. Contact PCM Industrial at powerconstruction.com. PCM Industrial is a fully insured Class A licensed contractor, OSHA and MSHA compliant. PCM Industrial Services of Altavista wishes Coach Sharness and the Altavista Colonels football team good luck in another winning season.
Get on the winning team and come find one of a kind. If you're looking for a new dining experience, try Piece of Pie on Broad Street. Come check out the great selection of local craft beers and enjoy a delicious barbecue meal at Two Sisters Tap Room, or sample a bottle of traditional mead from Vassir Meadworks, one of 12 meaderies in the state. An invitation from the Altavista Office of Economic Development. More information online at altavistaontrack.net.
Your station for high school sports play-by-play is 105.5 KD Country.
Back from Prince Edward High School, it's the Subway pregame show. Altavista Colonel football getting ready to start. I'm Kyle Hoehne. He is Dave Hoehne. We appreciate you stopping by and joining us on your Friday night. A beautiful fall-like evening. I don't know if we're quite done with summer yet, but it's a nice feeling out here.
It's much more pleasant than last week for those people that were outside watching the game and maybe listening along on the radio tonight. Appreciate you joining us. The Prince Edward Marching Band out on the field, welcoming their Prince Edward Eagles, who are dressed in their purple uniforms with the, what did we decide? Was the gold numerals?
It's a Vegas gold. That's
okay,
what we decided. Bob Ross would love that color on one of his paintings, the Vegas gold there. And I think we probably have artistic license to call them the Purple People Eaters, don't you?
Well, the purple does resemble the Minnesota Vikings.
It does. And it's Prince Edward's. That may be one too many P's. That may be too much alliteration. It's national anthem time now, though. The marching band will stay on the field. So we'll step aside while they honor our country. Another quick time out here on the Subway pregame show. Kickoff between the Eagles and the Colonels. About 10 minutes away on 105.5 KD Country.
Finch and Finch Funeral and Cremation Service. A family serving families since 1905.
Life is full of opportunities to show someone we love them. One such opportunity is the funeral or memorial service. Finch and Finch helps you celebrate the relationships they shared and honors the memory of your loved one.
Finch and Finch Funeral and Cremation Service. serving families since 1905.
English Construction Company has been in the building business since 1909, so it's only natural that they appreciate the building process. They recognize the fact that organized sports programs build character as well as bodies and minds. They know that high school sports build our youth into more well-rounded and more productive adults. English Construction Company is proud to be a sponsor of high school sports and salute all athletes, coaches, and teachers. A word of praise and encouragement from English Construction Company with offices in Lynchburg.
GMC. Come on in with the family. See your friends. Highview Motors, GMC. From small to tall, we've got it all. Highview Motors, GMC.
Compassionate Care Choices, Autumn Care, 24-hour skilled nursing, inpatient, outpatient, physical, occupational, and speech therapies. Autumn Care invites you to tour their facility. In 2016, receiving the Bronze Quality by the American Healthcare Association. 5-star rating by Centers for Medicare, Medicaid Services. Autumn Care, a member of Sabre Healthcare Group, serving Altavista and surrounding areas since 1989.
More live high school sports action on 105.5 KD Country.
Colonels football back from Prince Edward High School, our 54th season of broadcasting high school sports on KD Country. I'm Kyle Hoehne. He is Dave Hoehne. Dave, the 2 footlongs for $6 at Subway is already getting rave reviews. I'm already getting people contacting me. They assume I made some kind of a mistake. That's not a mistake, folks. You can get 2 footlongs on Saturday and Sunday for just $6 at the Main Street Altavista Subway, the Walmart Subway, or the Subway in Gretna. It's not a mistake. It's 2 footlongs for $6. Any 2 footlongs, even the premium ones. Now, if you want to add extra meat and those kind of things, they're going to charge you. But any footlong.
That's a great deal.
It's an amazing deal.
And it does sound like a mistake, but it's not.
It's great stuff. On Saturdays and Sundays, and as I mentioned to Dave, not just this weekend, every weekend at Subway. They seem to like the name Purple People Eaters, too. Let's tell you about the Prince Edward Eagles, the official nickname, of course. They beat Windsor last week, 62-7. Pretty good win for Prince Edward. The Eagles were 3-7 last year. You remember Altavista beat them in week 2 last year. Dave, this is a team that has struggled. They did go to the playoffs back in 2014, but wins have been hard to come by for the team here in Farmville. Tonight, we expect to see a balanced rushing and passing attack led by the tall, lanky quarterback, Joel Thomas. You and I walked out there on the field, saw him going through his pregame preparations, and he really can throw that football.
He does throw it well. He gets it downfield about 25, 30 yards at a time when he goes long. He stands about 6'3", 6'4", maybe, and a good-sized fellow that looks like he could probably take a pretty good hit if he needed to.
Well, and Coach Sharness for the Altavista Colonels is hoping that he will take a few hits. He felt like that was the best way to stop the passing game, was getting that backfield and hit the quarterback early and often, and I'm sure that is what defensive coordinator Mike Revis has in mind, too.
I think the Prince Edward fans are pretty excited about their team starting 1-0 this year.
There does seem to be a nice energy out here at Prince Edward. The crowd is building. The band seems to be in good form, getting everybody pumped up, and it is a nice atmosphere for football out here. Again, the mild weather probably helps that as well.
As we look over on the far side of the field and see the Altavista fans over there, we also notice the Altavista, looks like marching band is here. And along with the cheerleaders, there's as many people in the student body here as there are adults cheering on the Colonels.
Well, you know those adults. Sometimes they like to stay home and listen on 105.5 or at kdcountry.com. We certainly appreciate that, but you're right. The Colonels marching band made the trip. Maybe we can bust out some sort of impromptu battle of the bands between the 2 marching bands that are here tonight. That would be fun. That'd spice up halftime a bit, wouldn't it?
It certainly would.
Tell you about the people that bring you our award-winning broadcast. Autumn Care of Altavista, specializing in 24-hour skilled nursing care, physical, speech, and occupational therapy. D.L. Bryant Heating and Cooling. Call Donnie at 841-1580. That's 841-1580. Highview Motors, GMC. From small to tall, Highview has it all. Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Service. A family serving family since 1905. PCM Industrial Services, now with mobile welding and repair service. The Altavista Office of Economic Development, we invite you to come find one of a kind. Don't forget about the cruise-in tomorrow night in Altavista. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, keeping you cool in the summer, warm in the winter, and comfortable in between. The Moose Family Center. Visit the Altavista Moose Family Center today to join and be a Moose. English Construction, wishing our high school athletes an exciting and injury-free game. El Cazador, Altavista's original Mexican restaurant. Steve Farmer Auto Sales, best deals on wheels. Napa Auto Parts of Altavista. Find your Napa know-how on Main Street in Altavista. English's, your complete home center, now offering a complete line of Carhartt clothing for men. First National Bank, helping you bring home more bacon. Fellers Chevrolet, now offering a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Dave, that's another one of those things that almost sounds like a mistake, but it's not. The gang at Fellers there doing great stuff, and we know Kay and Mr. Stephen Dews and all the rest are probably down there listening to the Colonels right now.
Yeah, Mike and Dennis and the rest of the crew.
Good stuff. We hope you're enjoying the broadcast. We'll send out a few shout-outs as we go on. You can contact the KD Country Facebook page if you want to let folks know you're listening. Some people prefer to not let folks know they're listening. Maybe they're supposed to be, out like cutting the grass right now or something.
That could be. Team captains have met out on the field, and the Prince Edward Eagles won the toss. They're going to start on the end of the field to our right, and we'll go right to left. The Colonels will kick off and play defense as Steve Farmer and Josh McClure, Mateo Malbeck, and one more, 34, Traquan Farmer were out there as captains for the Colonels tonight. And so I think the Colonels probably just as well would like to start on defense.
That's been their MO for about as long as I can remember, about since Coach Sharness arrived here at Altavista. They prefer to kick off, set the tone on defense, and then also it helps to get that football first in the second half. Our sound engineers are Eleanor and Katie. Again, we'll tell you about their Subway experience during the Subway halftime show. Nick Boley's got the ball teed up and the team huddled behind him. He's set to go. Colonels are in the road, white jerseys, orange pants, black helmets.
Back on the near side, receiving for Prince Edward is number 2, Trey Scott, a 12th grader. And I think that's number 13 over there, Raekwon Payne.
Looks like Payne.
Let me double-check that number, but
we'll find out. Maybe the football won't get kicked over there. It won't matter for us. Here comes a run-up from Nick Boley. We're underway on a Friday night in Farmville. High school football. This ball is going to get fielded on the 20-yard line. That's Scott. He made the first tackler missed and then got hit by Jacob Adams around the 35-yard line. Looked like number 7, Lawrence Galliard, was also there to help out on the stop. Eagles will take over just inside the left hash mark. They're going to work right to left from Dave and I's perspective here at Prince Edward High School.
Nice end-over-end kick by Nick Boley to start things off, and Scott had a little trouble with the initial reception, dropped the ball, but picked it up, bounced right back to him, and got a little bit of yardage out of it.
Shotgun spread formation. Colonel show blitz on first down. Thomas wanted to hand it off, but there was nobody there except for Colonel's defenders.
5 Colonels in the backfield.
I don't know if anybody got blocked there, and Scott was not happy with his running back going the wrong direction. Looked like Stephen Farmer hit him first, but as you heard Dave say, he had 4 teammates coming right behind him. We'll call that a loss of 5 on first down.
Yeah, that was big number 52 leading the pack for the Colonels.
2nd and 15 for Prince Edward. Thomas looks over the defense. Colonel's not showing blitz this time. Here comes a handoff play on second down. Scott takes it, hit on the 35-yard line, pushed forward to about the 36. They may put him back on the 35-yard line. That was Trey Scott, the senior on the carry. He did get it back to the original line of scrimmage, Dave, so it brings up 3rd and 10 for Prince Edward.
Made a nice move to bounce outside and get around the Colonel's defense, and he got a little bit of blocking out there, too, for Prince Edward.
Eagles in the shotgun spread formation again. 3 receivers to the wide side of the field. That's the right. 3rd and 10 here with 10:45 left to play in the first quarter. Still no score, opening possession of the ball game. Thomas wants to dump it off, and it's batted away by Matt Aiken. Nice athletic play by Aiken to get up in the air and get a fingertip on the ball. The pass was intended for number 5, Anil Walker.
Josh McClure was coming in from his linebacker spot on the left side. He got blocked, got a little pressure in the pocket, but the defense of the Colonels knocked that one down, Matt Aiken.
Nice opening drive there. Nice opening start for the Altavista defense. Wasn't much of a drive. Brings up 4th and 10, punting formation for the Eagles. Back deep to return, it's Christian Gilbert and Mateo Malback. This is number 1, Khalil Smith. That'll boot it away with the right leg. Fielder on the fly by Malback. He's hit at the 40-yard line, chased down to the 42 or the 43. Decent little return, maybe 5 or 6 yards.
Ball right in the middle of the field for the Colonels as they go on offense for the first time tonight. No score, just underway. First quarter of play with 10 minutes and 30 seconds left. The ball at the 43.
Quick shout-out to our colleague, Oscar Briggs. He's away on assignment, but I believe he's tuned in right now. Not sure if he's using the TuneIn app or maybe just 105.5 or kdcountry.com. Colonels will open up with the shotgun. Looks like Jonathan Montague, the running back, right behind quarterback Mateo Malback. Ball in the middle of the field, snap from the 43-yard line. Colonel's first play from scrimmage, only going to pick up about 1 yard as Montague got swallowed up by the defensive line and the linebacking core from Prince Edward. They do give him about a yard.
Montague, just a junior, at 205 pounds of compact, 205 at 5'11".
He's a solid, well-put-together running back who can really wear down a defense. You heard Coach Sharnes allude to that in the opening interview. 0-0, Altavista football. Second play from scrimmage here from just inside the 45-yard line. Traquan Farmer's in as a blocking back. They put him in motion to the left. Now they want to run back to the right. Montague not going anywhere this time either. Might have gotten 1 yard, maybe not even that. It's going to bring up 3rd and 9 for the Altavista Colonels. Good swarming defense for Prince Edward there, Dave. Hard to identify a tackler because they had 4 and 5 purple hats in on the football.
Looks like Prince Edward is ready for that run up the middle by the Colonels. Their defense is clogging it up.
See if the Colonels do decide to maybe throw the ball or at least get it outside here on 3rd down. They went to the option play a few times on 3rd down last week.
Aiken is the wide receiver on the outside. Adams in the slot.
Here comes the shotgun snap. Malback wants to roll out to his left. He's got the ball extended. He's in the grasp of a would-be tackler. Still on his feet. Now he's not anymore. Thrown down at the 30-yard line. Prince Edward defense is excited. You can probably hear the crowd come to life. It ends up being a big loss for Altavista, and it will bring up 4th and we'll say 21 for the Colonels. Obvious punting situation here.
Mateo got wrapped up by the first guy, managed to break that tackle, spun around and tried to turn the corner, but the farther he went, the more the defense put the pressure on, and he took a big loss.
He thought maybe by giving ground he could get around some of those defenders, but you're right, they just kept coming. Malback stands to punt it away on his own 16-yard line. Snap moves him to the right just a little bit, gets off a nice booming punt. It'll land on the Eagles' 35 and take a Colonel's bounce inside and down to the 26-yard line. So very successful kick by Mateo Malback that is downed by Shaheem Pinnell. No return attempted for Prince Edward. They'll take over with 8:19 remaining in the Englishes, your complete home center first quarter. Still no score. Eagles second time touching the football.
Shaheem's the guy who had those 3 touchdown runs last week, showed his speed here on the punt, and he got downfield to cover the ball. Trey Scott was back for the Eagles, but he didn't get anywhere close to it as he just let it roll down to the 26.
Now, both teams with a 3 and out on their first possession. Let's see what the Eagles can do on their second. It's Colonels football on 105.5 KD Country. We appreciate you tuning in. 3-4 defense from Altavista. Running play on 1st down. Ran out of Traquan Farmer's hands. Also Matt Aiken. Running back is off to the races, and it's Anil Walker. Walker with a big gain there. First down, of the ball game. We'll call it a 16-yard pickup for the Eagles on 1st down.
So the Eagles run wide. They get a chance to show off their speed. That's what Sharnes was worried about coming into this game.
2nd down coming up here. It'll be first down again. A fresh set of downs. 1st and 10 from the 45-yard line. Prince Edward still in their own territory. They'll snap this ball from the left hash mark. Colonel show blitz again. Running play again. Anil Walker spun around, thrown backwards, tried to go off right tackle. stayed on his feet for just a little bit, but the Colonels surrounded him. It's Traquan Farmer, Stephen Farmer, and also number 72, Tevin Pearman, helping out on the stop.
Colonels got good pressure that time as they tried to run off right tackle, and the Colonels smelled it out, blocked it.
Loss of 2. Bring up second down for Prince Edward. Working right to left. Still no score here. Their second drive of the game with 7:23 left to go in the first quarter. Passing play here on second down. Picked off. It's intercepted by the Colonels, and this is Lawrence Galliard. Galliard might score. He's down to the 20, the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Altavista on the interception return by Lawrence Galliard.
Just stepped in front of the would-be receiver, picked it off, and he had a big running lane down the middle of the field. They were chasing him, then didn't catch him till he got to the end zone. Touchdown, Altavista.
Call it a 45-yard interception and touchdown return for Lawrence Galliard, number 7. That'll be the second week in a row, Dave, that the Colonels have had a pick-6 touchdown. You remember Shaheem Pinnell last week. This one coming far earlier in the first quarter. Gives Altavista a 6-0 lead. Nick Boley's on to try the extra point. Adams will hold. Snap is perfect. Gets down to the kicking block. Boot is plenty long, and it's straight to 7-0. Colonels on top. 7:10 left to play in the English's first quarter when you come back to 105.5 KD Country.
Altavista High School football is brought to you by Steve Farmer Auto Sales. Steve Farmer Auto Sales, where there's always a good selection of cars, trucks, and SUVs, and they're priced right with financing available. See Steve Farmer Auto Sales, 1112 Main Street, Altavista, the next time you get ready to make a change. Steve Farmer Auto Sales, best deals on wheels.
Back to the press box for high school sports on 105.5 KD Country.
Colonels get on the board first, and they do it on the defensive side of the ball, Dave. Lawrence Galliard with the 45-yard interception return for a touchdown. Both teams with some struggles early on offense, and the Colonels capitalizing on a Prince Edward mistake.
Yeah, the quarterback just wanted to throw a little short pass up the middle, about 5 yards or so, but Lawrence Galliard was right where he should be on defense.
Great coverage. It looked like probably a zone coverage in the secondary there, and Lawrence from his linebacker spot, you said it, just sort of slid over just maybe a yard or two to his right when the ball was thrown and stepped in front of the would-be receiver.
I thought he was reading the quarterback all the way.
I think you're right. I think he really had Joel Thomas's eyes and his body language read there. Here comes Nick Boley on the run-up. Colonels lead 7-0 after the interception and extra point. This time the ball will get fielded on the 5-yard line. Speedy return man is number 13, Raekwon Payne. Payne in trouble now at the 25-yard line. Swarmed on and attacked by the Altavista defense. Gosh, you got Jacob Adams in there. You got Traquan Farmer in there. Lawrence Galliard, also number 22, Jordan Spinner, and number 21, Matt Aiken.
It's about 7 or 8 Colonels.
Yeah, I should have just named everybody that was out there, right? Colonels, nice job there getting to the football. They actually spotted on the 24-yard line. That's where Prince Edward will take over for their third drive of the ball game. They trail 7-0 with 7 minutes exactly to play in the English's, your complete home center, for first quarter.
Aiken, Farmer, let's see, Josh McClure in there at the linebacker. And
looks like Traquan Farmer's the fourth linebacker on that far side. They're going to try and run over to the right side there. Farmer missed him, but the rest of the defense got him. It'll probably be a loss of 1 here on the first down running play.
Nice low tackle in there. I'm not sure which Colonel was in there, but he got him around the ankles and knees and brought him down as the rest of the Colonels came in to help out.
Yeah, Farmer slowed him down, and I think it was actually big number 75, Melton Caleb, coming in from the defensive line spot. That was the man on the low tackle that you saw. Shotgun formation here on 2nd and 11 for Prince Edward. Joel Thomas, the quarterback, looks over the D, handles a low snap, pump fakes the throw. Now he wants to throw, flushed out of the pocket. He's going to try and get rid of it. Let's see if we get a flag for intentional grounding. He did throw it away.
Yeah, he did. I thought he was in the grass.
He looked like he may have almost been down. Obviously, we don't have the benefit of an instant replay, but you got to give Thomas credit for getting rid of the football and doing what he could to bring up 3rd and 10. He saved Prince Edward at least 7 or 8 yards by tossing that football away, Dave.
and coverage by the Colonel Shaeen Pinnell over on this side as he was shadowing the intended receiver.
Pinnell and Adams are the cornerbacks right now. Jamelin Jones, normally a starter, is injured. So is normal starter Chancellor Mormon. Throw over the middle. Ballback makes a nice hit just shy of the first down marker. They may set this ball up and measure. It was a good pass and catch. Thomas found I believe that's number 8, Michael Dupuy. No, pardon me, it was number 13, Raekwon Payne again. It'll bring up fourth down. So good job by Malbeck to hit him just 1 yard short of the marker. And it looks like Prince Edward wants to punt on fourth down, Dave.
Malbeck arrived there just as the receiver caught the ball, and so it was good coverage and makes Prince Edward punt here.
Sure was. Great timing on the hit. If Mateo gets to him any earlier, it might be a pass interference penalty. 4th and 1, though, so you do have to be alert for the fake. Prince Edward in trouble. They don't have all their personnel out there for the punt. Let's see if they want to burn a timeout. I think head coach James Ford is considering it, but now they're going to try and get it off. Here comes the snap. They do get it off before a delay of game. It's a pretty good punt. Malbeck's not going to try and field it. He'll let it roll. It takes a very nice Prince Edward bounce. Still on the move back there inside the Colonel's 15-yard line. We'll call it the 14-yard line. Altavista will take over for their second drive of the game. Big-time punt there for Prince Edward to flip the field.
About 45 yards. That is a great punt. Good roll by the Prince Edward Eagles.
5:12 remaining in the first quarter. Let me mention those injuries again. Jamelin Jones is out for the Colonels. Chancellor Mormon is out for the Colonels. That's 2 normal starters on defense and 2 guys that do play quite a bit of offense as well. And throw the special teams in there too. So the Colonels slightly shorthanded. They'll scrimmage here on first down from their own 14. They put Adams in motion, but hand it off instead to, I believe it's Christian Gilbert.
It is. He gets up off the ground there, number 10.
Good 5-yard pickup there on the first down running play from Christian Gilbert for the Altavista Colonels. Our first look at him. Montague got the first couple carries. Now it's Gilbert in there.
We talked about the 3 running backs rotating in there for the Colonels.
This is their second series. 2 wide receivers, a blocking back, and a running back. Wide receiver sweep play here. Jacob Adams gets the handoff but can't get going in time. He's brought down for a loss of 4. Eagles were in the backfield there. Not much Adams could do about that. Just good defense.
Some good speed shown by the Eagles defenders there to get in and wreck that play and the intentions of the Colonels, who lead 7-0.
Early advantage for Altavista brought on by the defense. Lawrence Galliard with an interception return for a touchdown. 4:12 left to play. Clock turns here in the first quarter. Colonels are going to need 9 yards for a fresh set of downs. Malbeck has the offense set, taking his time, ready to receive the shotgun snap. Gets into crouch, goes with a hard snap count. Handles it, now hands it off. Whistles blow. Wonder if somebody jumped. Somebody did jump. It's just a question of who it was for, Altavista or Prince Edward. Going to have a 5-yard penalty of some variety here, Dave.
The Eagles were crowding the line of scrimmage, but I'm not sure who moved first. They're going to walk it off against the Eagles. So an offside.
Nice job by Mateo Malbeck to change the snap count there to draw Prince Edward offside. It'll make this third down play a little more manageable here for Altavista. Call it 3rd and 4 now.
Reminds me of a guy who was pretty good at that a couple of years ago, Juan Thornhill, on that hard count.
Sure was. One of the best I've seen. Malbeck's going to try it again. I think he went with 3 huts that time. Inside running play going nowhere. They hit Gilbert in the legs before he can get started. That was number 50, Markeem Trent, on the stop for Prince Edward. And it's another 3 and out for Altavista. They'll punt it away. Malbeck a little bit deeper this time to boot it away.
Colonels tried to run off left guard, but that Eagles defensive line is looks like some pretty stout bodies out there, and Colonels may be having trouble getting the blocks they want.
It's a defensive battle so far, Dave. Colonels do lead 7-0, but it was via a defensive score. Colonels have touched the ball twice. It's resulted in 2 punts. Prince Edward's had the ball 3 times, 2 punts and a pick. Snap moves Malbeck just to the right again, but he fields it. This kick not as good. Came off the right side of his leg. Oh, and it bounces and spins backwards like a golf shot. It'll get downed by Christian Gilbert at the 30-yard line of Altavista.
The ball bounced at about the 39-yard line at Altavista, and then, as you said, took that backwards roll.
It's a net punt of 5 yards, so not what the Colonels wanted. They were certainly backed up. Malbeck punted that ball away from about his own 5-yard line.
Well, you'll remember last week the Colonels turned the ball over deep in their own territory, and Central Lunenburg took advantage of that.
Well, this is almost like a turnover here with this field position, isn't it?
Well, the way the ball bounced there, that didn't help the Colonels' cause at all.
You're going to step off some yardage against Altavista. No? Let's wait and see. It's against Prince Edward. A Prince Edward player took objection to a hit from Josh McClure. McClure hit a guy that was possibly looking at picking up the football, a Prince Edward player, and the Prince Edward sideline took objection to that and sort of got in Josh McClure's face just a little bit. It was a clean hit. The whistle had not been blown, and the Prince Edward player, it was in the proximity of the football. He could have picked it up, so I think Josh did the right thing. The referees obviously agreed. So this will back Prince Edward up a little bit. He'll snap this ball from the Altavista 46-yard line. Thomas in trouble. He's going to have to get out of the pocket. He's hit hard. Sort of inched the ball back to the line of scrimmage there. Aaron Close in on the stop for the Altavista Colonels. His first game of the year, Dave, he had to miss last week.
Also, Matt Eakin was in there putting some pressure on Thomas, who stepped around the rush.
They do give Prince Edward a loss of 1.5, it looks like, so we'll call it 2nd and 11. Clock continues to turn, 2:25 left to play in the English's first quarter. Colonels lead 7-0. Altavista on defense right now. 2nd and 11, low snap handled by Thomas. He hands it off to Neil Walker. Walker makes the first man miss. Going to try and go outside to the right. He tried to turn it up the alleyway there. Nothing doing, though. The Colonels defense swarming again. It'll bring up another 3rd and long.
Colonels were able to string that out there and stay with the running back and stop him for, well, he gained maybe a half a yard, but it's still an 3rd and 11.
1:50 left to play now in the first quarter. Altavista 7, Prince Edward 0.
4 wideouts this time for Prince Edward.
Thomas hasn't really had a ton of time to pass. The time he did have room to operate, he threw the interception. Going to wing it down the far sideline there. Oh, in and out of the hands of number 14, Brian Moses. He really had beaten the coverage from Altavista. He slipped in behind Jacob Adams there on the far sideline, but just could not reel the pass in. He'll bring up 4th and 11.
It was a tough over-the-shoulder catch for Prince Edward, but luckily for the Colonels, it went in and out of the hands of the receiver.
You make a good point. It was a tough catch. There was a certain amount of degree of difficulty there. But I know Brian Moses would love to have another crack at pulling a pass like that in.
Joel Thomas had plenty of arm to get it down there.
Sure did. Punting formation again for Prince Edward. Snap a little bit low, scooped up, and booted away by number 1, Khalil Smith. It'll get fielded on one bounce by Christian Gilbert. Starts up the middle, now going back to his right. Still on his feet, made one man miss after a would-be shoulder tackle. Gets it out to the 28-yard line. Decent return, decent field position for the Colonels to start their 3rd drive of the ball game.
Nice run by Christian Gilbert as he faked inside and then bounced to the outside to pick up that extra yardage. Otherwise, the Colonels would have been deep in their own territory again.
We've played almost 11 minutes of football here, Dave, and we've seen 1 first down. Prince Edward got a first down, and then they threw an interception on the very next play. It's been the epitome of a defensive struggle. Altavista does lead 7-0.
They're going to try it again.
That's right. All you can do is just keep trying. Get back on the horse and ride. Ball back in at quarterback for the Altavista Colonels. Handles the chest-high snap, hands it off to Shaheem Pinnell. Our first look at Pinnell here on the Colonels' 3rd series, and he scampers his way along the left side of the offensive line for about 4 yards. Decent blocking over there. Tried to run behind number 75, Melton Caleb, and Stephen Farmer.
So the Colonels getting their offense going here maybe, finally, on what is this, their third
possession, yep. 2 3-and-outs. Give credit to Prince Edward's defense. They're swarming just like Altavista. Put a man in motion. They hand it to Pinnell again. Not a lot of room inside. He's thrown down by a couple Prince Edward Eagles. Number 54, DeAndre Bowler, looked like the first guy in on the stop. They give Pinnell credit for 2 yards. We'll call this 3rd and 5 coming up for Altavista as they work left to right from our perspective. Dave and I are up here in the press box at Prince Edward.
like the way Shaheen lowered his shoulder on that play and kept driving forward.
It's about all he had. The blocking really wasn't there. Down to 20 seconds in the quarter. Colonels are going to get this play off before the quarter ends. 3 wide receivers, a blocking back, and a running back. They'll put Adams in motion. They want to hand it to him. Adams started up the middle. Now he turns it up with a nice cut. He's across the 40-yard line. He picked up enough for the first down. We'll call it a 7-yard gain for Jacob Adams, number 1. And it's the Colonels' first down of the ball game.
And a nice move there by Jacob Adams as he came around the right end, took a step inside, and then cut outside, and that left the defenders trying to catch him.
Yeah, nice vision there by the junior to dart in and out of the defense and see the seams there. 4.4 seconds left to play in the first quarter. They called a holding or a personal foul, Dave, on the Colonels?
I think it was holding.
See what the stick reads when they get it reset. If it was a personal foul after the play, because there was a little bit of talking after the play, then they would still get a first down. If it's a holding, it's coming back.
It's a personal foul, you're right.
Okay. So, again, my interpretation of it would be Adams picked up the first down. They're still going to call it third down, though. Not going to matter. The clock starts up again after the referees put the ball in play, and that's the end of the first quarter. So we'll figure it out during the quarter break. We've played one here from Prince Edward. Colonels lead 7-0. Come on back for the second quarter on 105.5 KD Country.
Introducing D.L. Bryant Heating and Cooling. A name you've grown to trust, Donnie Bryant is back with D.L. Bryant Heating and Cooling. As an American Standard dealer, D.L. Bryant Heating has the tools and the talent to handle all of your heating and cooling issues, large or small. Call 841-1580. That's 841-1580 for D.L. Bryant Heating and Cooling. Call 841-1580 for a name you can trust, Donnie Bryant and D.L. Bryant Heating and Cooling.
Your high school sports station with award-winning coverage on 105.5 KD Country.
We return from Prince Edward High School. The Colonels hold a lead, 7-0 over the Eagles. I'm Kyle. He is Dave. We're having a blast up here. We know we got some folks tuned in. Our former Colonel Victoria Burgess, just down the street there at Longwood, is tuned in, Dave. I believe our old friend Chad Anderson was tuned in down there at Chatham, and I'm sure many more. We can get more shout-outs as we go on, but a real defensive battle there in that first quarter. The Colonels score the only points of the game on the interception return from Lawrence Galliard. What do the offenses have to do to get a little bit more explosive? Any ideas?
Well, I thought maybe the Colonels were kind of getting their offense going. Unfortunately, they had that penalty there at the end of that run by Jacob Adams. But maybe that will kind of be the inspiration to keep the offense going here. We'll see how the Prince Edward Eagles will react defensively.
It's going to bring up another third down. We thought it might be a first down, but the stick is set. We'll call it 3rd and 9 here for Altavista.
Galliard wide on this side.
Looks like they want to throw to him. Ball back hit hard, though, and dropped. Oh, man, almost a clothesline tackle there. Old school by DeAndre Bowler. Malbeck never saw him. Give Mateo Malbeck a lot of credit, Dave, just for holding on to the football. He got drilled.
Yeah, he did. And Malbeck is only 5'10" at 160 pounds, so you don't want to take too many of those hits.
No, you don't. It'll bring up a 4th down situation. Colonels are 0 for 3 on 3rd down, so is Prince Edward. Another punt here coming from Mateo Malbeck, and at 4th and 15, I don't think the Colonels would try a fake from their own 32-yard line.
Trey Scott back deep for Prince Edward.
Good snap. Ball back, plenty of time. Hits a very high punt. Not very long, but very high. This time it does bounce in the Colonels' favor just a little bit.
Colonels have to back away from it, but it's inside the 50-yard line of Altavista.
Yeah, good starting field position again for Prince Edward. They'll scrimmage this one from the Altavista 46-yard line.
The Altavista defense has done a good job so far. Well, but you don't want to give Prince Edward too many opportunities.
Sure you don't. You really would love to cause another one of those turnovers. It may be one of those games where defenses are going to be the only sides of the football that score points. We'll see. Maybe special teams will have a factor too.
Some of the problems for the Altavista offense is the speed of the Eagles defense.
It is a good, fast, swarming defense. 2 receivers each side for Prince Edward. Here's the handoff play with some room to run on the right side there. Now brought down after a 9-yard gain. That was number 5, Anil Walker again on the carry. Walker is very speedy, too.
Colonels missed a tackle here on the right side, or the left side, just at the line of scrimmage that could have held that play for no gain, but instead the running back picks up several yards here.
Walker really darted through that hole quickly. This time it's 3 receivers to the left side of the field. That's the wide side. They do give him a first down pickup. Oh, Joel Thomas had to go down low and pick it up. Thought his knee might have been down. He hands off to Anil Walker again. Walker hit about 10 yards inside the right sideline by Mateo Malback, Aaron Close, and Josh McClure. He does still pick up a nice chunk of yards. Give him 9 yards on the first down play.
Neal is a quick, shifty back, and he's able to get outside real quickly before the Colonels' defense can step up.
Back to back. Oh, there's a fumble, and the Colonels are going to have it. Colonels scoop it up at the 40-yard line. That's Jonathan Montague, number 2, picking up the fumble. The snap was low, and then Altavista applied some pressure. You got to give Stephen Farmer very high praise there because he got in there and sort of moved the football further for Jonathan Montague to pick it up, and Farmer was really the one applying most of that pressure early on. Another turnover for Altavista. This time a fumble recovery. Now let's see if the offense can feed off of that, Dave.
Good hands by Jonathan Montague, and let's get this Colonels offense going here.
First down for Altavista. Middle of the field, their own 42-yard line. 10:18 left to play in the first half. They lead 7-0. Here's the first down snap. They give it to Montague. He's got nothing. Prince Edward in the backfield again, really as Jonathan is receiving the handoff. This time it's number 51, Naren Simon on the hit.
Colonels could have used a little blocking there in the backfield that they didn't get that would give Montague a better opportunity to pick up some yards.
I mean, Montague can make some guys miss. Obviously, we know all the other ball carriers for Altavista can do the same, but you got to have room to get started. If you got a man on your back as soon as you're getting that handoff, not many running backs in the world that can make something out of that.
If you just tuned in, the Colonels now going our right to left. They lead 7-0.
2 tight ends and 2 receivers. Malback fakes the handoff. He wants to try and run himself. He did run out of the first tackle, but not the second and not the third. It's going to be a loss of 7 on the would-be quarterback keeper. Again, that Prince Edward defensive line, Dave, I think it's a combination of speed and strength that they're beating the Colonels' O-line with.
There were 4 guys in the backfield. Mateo Malback wasn't going to get away from them.
Colonels don't have a first down yet, believe it or not. Prince Edward only has 2. Altavista would have had 1 first down, but it was negated by a penalty. They'll try again here on 3rd and long. We'll call it 3rd and 15, middle of the field, 35-yard line. Here comes the snap, the handoff. Nothing doing there on the running play. They tried to give it to Gilbert up the middle, and it's just not there. Not a hole there. He is swarmed down and dropped for a loss of 1. Punting formation again for Altavista. It's their 4th punt of the ball game, Dave.
The Prince Edward linemen were in the backfield of the Colonels before the Colonels almost got the ball. The quickness and, as you said, the strength apparent for Prince Edward here in the early going.
Teo Malback, the senior, will do the honors on the punt. Looks like back deep to return is Trey Scott for Prince Edward. Flag comes out on the field.
The James Ford tried to call a timeout for his Prince Edward Eagles, but he was just a little late.
Yeah, I don't know. There may be some discussion about that. He may have gotten the timeout. Either way, we're going to take the timeout. 8:12 left to play in the second quarter. It's a 7-0 Altavista lead. They've got a 4th down situation coming up when you come back to 105.5 KD Country.
A short drive will save you money.
I'm Greg Walker with an exciting new offer from Feller Chevrolet. Purchase any new or used vehicle of Fellers and receive a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty and a 3-day, 100% money-back guarantee. Again, a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty and a 3-day money-back guarantee. At Feller Chevrolet, we stand behind what we sell, and we save you money. Come see us. You'll be glad you did.
A short drive will save you money. Feller Chevrolet in Altavista.
Now back to the action with Colonel Sports on 105.5 KD Country.
Welcome back to the press box at Prince Edward High School. The Altavista Colonels lead 7-0.
Well, they did pick up the penalty flag there, and Prince Edward got the timeout.
So the situation is going to stay the same. It's 4th and 18 for Altavista. Clearly a punting situation for the Colonels.
Trey Scott is back deep for the Eagles, standing at his own 32-yard line.
We'll have some score updates from some other games, Dave, at the Subway halftime show. Here comes the long snap. Moves them all back just to the right again. Plenty of time to kick it away, and this one's very good. This one, much like that first punt, and it takes an Altavista bounce. Field on the 25 by Scott. He's going to try and go up the right sideline. Just runs out of bounds under his own momentum. Nobody was there to tackle. Pardon me. Shaheem Pennell and Jonathan Montague were there. They never got hands on him. They just forced him out of bounds. And the Eagles will start this drive from their own 35-yard line. They haven't had a ton of success on offense either, Dave. Listen to this for the Prince Edward drives. Punt, interception, punt, and then fumble on the last drive. So this is the 6th time Prince Edward's gotten the football.
Nobody's really advanced very deep into their opponent's territory thus far.
No, it's been a defensive battle by all regards. Here comes 1st and 10 from the near hash mark. Handoff play going up the middle. That's Trey Scott. Bounces off one defender and his own man. Dropped for a 4-yard gain. Good sportsmanship there as number 51, Naren Simon, helps up Josh McClure. Call it 2nd and 8 after the first down run from the Prince Edward Eagles.
7-0 Altavista leads here in the midway through the second quarter.
Second down play. Here comes the running play. This time, Neil Walker up the middle, shaking defenders loose, and he's got a first down. Just inside the 50-yard line. They may spot it at the 50-yard line. Good fancy running play there by Neil Walker, and he had enough space inside to show us some of those moves.
Just a little cutback there by Walker. Picked up that extra yardage. The Colonels couldn't react to it quick enough.
1st and 10 here. Fresh set of downs. Thomas takes the snap, wants to throw. Winging out to his right. Slant pass was complete initially and then dropped. They're going to call that an incomplete pass. He was looking for Khalil Smith. Threw a good ball, and Smith just could not pull it in.
Smith slamming in from the left side, just couldn't hold the ball. It had been another big gain for Prince Edward.
Talked about Joel Thomas, talented senior quarterback. Right-handed throwing quarterback and very tall at 6'3", 6'4". Got a penalty flag on the field. I believe they're going to get Altavista for illegal participation, too many men on the field, I think is going to be the call. The officials discussing there on the 50-yard line. Now they look over and decide to start stepping it off. They'll spot this ball on the 45-yard line. It's a 5-yard penalty against the Colonels' defense. They'll make it 1st and 5. 7:15 left to play, and the English is your complete home center, second quarter.
I haven't been keeping track of the penalties, but most have been against Altavista.
Sure have. Shotgun snap, 2 receivers to each side for Thomas. He hands off again, running play off right tackle. This is Neil Walker. Walker had a Colonel on his jersey, then slung down by Stephen Farmer, Traquan Farmer, and Tevin Pierman. Close to the first down marker, not enough though. Bring up 2nd and 2, Dave.
And the ball at the 42-yard line of Altavista. So the Prince Edward Eagles getting a little momentum with this drive.
3 receivers to the left. That's the wide side of the field. 1 lone wide out to the right here. Thomas fakes the run, wants to pass left again. Nothing doing. He's hit hard by the Colonel's defense and thrown backwards. It's Ethan Young on the stop. It's also Traquan Farmer, and it looked like Tevin Pierman again.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. They were all in the backfield and had Thomas surrounded.
We've been calling Pierman's name a bunch, Dave. Good work from his defensive line spot.
Yep, doing a good job tonight.
3rd and 7. Prince Edward is 0 for 3 on third downs thus far in the ballgame. This one will get snapped with 6:10 left to play in the half. Thomas looking left, throws batted away. It looked like Traquan Farmer got a hand on it as he was getting in there to make contact with Joel Thomas. Good job by the senior Traquan Farmer to get the Colonel's D off the field again.
That's a big stop for the Altavista defense as Farmer batted it away there. Joel Thomas, looking down the field, had an open receiver over on the left-hand side.
Two return men for Altavista, same two, Christian Gilbert and Mateo Malbeck. Punting formation for Prince Edward here. 4th and 7. I guess you do have to be concerned about a fake from this distance. Snap goes deep and the kick goes away. It's Khalil Smith on the right-footed boot. Malbeck wanted to handle it, but then got away from it. This is going to take a nice Prince Edward bounce. Did it stay out of the end zone? I think they downed this ball on the 1 yard line, Dave. What an athletic play by the Eagles to get down there.
Wow.
I think that was Rajai Walton that dove after that ball, kept it out of the end zone. Colonels are starting in the shadow of their own goalpost here on this, their 5th possession of the ball game.
I think Malbeck maybe thought it would go into the end zone, and Prince Edward just made a great play out hustling the Colonels.
I think you nailed it there, absolutely. Tough situation here for the Altavista defense, or the Altavista offense particularly. They've had a hard time getting yards so far. 5:54 left to play in the English is your complete home center, second quarter. Colonels lead 7-0, but in danger here, snapping this ball from their own 1. Malbeck off right tackle, just a good hard-charging quarterback keeper. Smart play there. Ball came out, but Malbeck was already on the turf.
Looked like almost a late hit, but not according to the referees. So good yardage for Malbeck on that play.
Second down pickup, 2-yard pickup on first down. The Colonels will call a timeout. Let's take the timeout with them. They lead 7-0 against Prince Edward. 5:38 left to play in the half when you come back to 105.5 KD Country.
This is 100% convenient mobile banking with local First National Bank.
With our First Snap mobile app, you can securely check balances, make deposits, pay bills, transfer money, and much more.
It's easy to use, and we even have a video demo on our website at firstnatbk.com.
And it's free, so search First Snap mobile app and download it for free today.
Remember, banking from anywhere, anytime will help you bring home more bacon.
First National Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Your home for Colonel sports coverage. 105.5 KD Country.
Second quarter is brought to you by English's, your complete home center. Dave, they've got the end-of-season Carhartt clothing sale at English's. Tough, durable gear to help you live the lifestyle you want. Carhartt clothing on sale now at English's, North Main Street in Altavista.
Looks like good inventory in there. Lots to choose from in colors and styles.
It's getting cool outside, too, so that end-of-season sale could come in very handy. 2nd and 8, 5:38 left to play in the second quarter. Same running play. Malbeck starts off right tackle, hit hard around the thigh pad, nearly stayed on his feet. Better gain there. We'll call that one a 3 or 4 yard pickup for Mateo Malbeck. Sets up a third and very manageable situation for Altavista. Call it a 2 yard needed here. Same play. Off right tackle again. Malbeck makes a guy miss. He's got a first down over there on the far sideline. Slung out of bounds around the 20-yard line. First down pickup there for Altavista. It's their first down of the game, Dave.
Looks like the Colonels have found some running room over there on the right side. Malbeck just taking it quickly and getting past the defenders.
Just a quarterback lead play off right tackle 3 times in a row. Seems to be working. Let's see if they try it to the left side this time, maybe. It's exactly what they're doing. He's got room over there off tackle. Malbeck makes a guy miss. Sidesteps another. He's across the first down marker. Now past the 40, past the 50, and still on his feet, thrown down to the 45. Big gainer there for Mateo Malbeck on first down.
That was a beautiful run. I tell you, from the line of scrimmage, he sidestepped several tacklers, used some moves to cut back, and got down the field, just outran a lot of people. The pursuit finally caught up with Malbeck.
We'll call it a 37-yard pickup for the senior, Mateo Malbeck. Altavista's offense on the move. Remember, this drive started from their own 1 yard line. Christian Gilbert in there at quarterback, it looks like. Number 10 will take the snap. Fakes right, now goes left. Cut down as he turned it back up the middle. Good solid tackling from Prince Edward. It's still a 2-yard gain, though, for Christian Gilbert on first down.
Nice lunge forward by Gilbert to make sure he got some positive yardage out of that play.
I'm guessing Malbeck was just gassed there, Dave. That's why they sent Gilbert in there to run some quarterback.
Sure, after carrying the ball 4 times and
right,
but ending with a 37-yard run.
Yeah, basically ran that whole 54-plus yards of the field. Here comes a shotgun snap, mishandled by Gilbert momentarily, and that gave Prince Edward enough time to get in the backfield again. That is big number 69, James Morgan, on the stop. Morgan is a big man. He's just a sophomore. Call that a loss of 2.
And takes it back to the original line of scrimmage.
Another third down coming up for Altavista. Under 4 minutes to play here in the first half. 7-0 is the Colonel's lead.
Jonathan Montague checking into the backfield for Altavista.
Gilbert's going to stay in there at quarterback. 2 receivers to his right. That's the short side of the field. They put Adams in motion. They hand it to him. Adams turns it up the alleyway. Now he's going to run out of a jersey tackle, trying to high step his way for some more yards, and can't. 4 purple jerseys around him for the tackle. 2-yard gain for Jacob Adams. Let's see if the Colonels decide to go for it here on 4th and 8. They're in Prince Edward territory. This ball resting on the 43-yard line. It does look like the offense is going to stay. No. Malback trotting deep into punt position. Pardon me.
So Adams just was surrounded by too many purple jerseys that time and unable to really get much out of it.
No, clearly the Colonel's best drive of the night. I mean, you got to take some positives away from that, don't you?
Absolutely.
3 minutes left to play in the half. 7-0 Colonel's lead, but Malback's going to punt it away on 4th and 8.
Scott back deep at his own 5-yard line.
Snap is low. 2 hops back to Mateo Malback. He scoops it up like a shortstop would a ground ball. Nice kick, too. Fielded on the 5-yard line by number 2, Trey Scott, and he runs out of bounds again, mostly under his own momentum around the 19-yard line. Nice job by Mateo Malback. Pardon me, that's the 15-yard line. Danger there because if Mateo puts a knee on the ground, he's down around the 50-yard line.
Yeah.
Did a nice job to stay off the knee. Scoop up the snap and kick it.
He did have some pressure coming from both defensive ends.
Sure did.
Stepped up into it nicely and was able to get the kick away. And I'll say Scott did a nice job of outrunning the Altavista defense to get the ball back to the 15-yard line.
That's where Prince Edward will scrimmage. 2:41 left to play in the English's, your complete home center, second quarter. Prince Edward trailing 7-0. We'll have some updates from some other games at halftime. While I'm thinking about it, let's send a shout-out to our colleague, Bob Alvis, who does provide us with some scores, and he's very excited about the Yankees' Gary Sanchez, Dave.
Okay.
Here comes a shotgun snap. Thomas will have to go to the ground and get that one. That's a low one that he could not avoid letting go by him unless he got down. We mentioned Malback looked like a shortstop. I think Thomas looked like a hockey goalie there trying to keep the puck out of the net.
Hockey or soccer goalie.
Yeah,
he had to dive for it, and, it's a good thing he did. This ball is fairly close to the Prince Edward end zone.
They're going to snap this ball on their own 10-yard line now. You got to think the Colonel's defense might smell blood in the water. They've already got 2 turnovers today, an interception and a fumble recovery. Thomas wants to throw from his own 10. He barely got rid of that. It's complete. Complete at the 20-yard line, now up to the 30-yard line, now the 35. Thomas got rid of it just in time. The slant pass to Khalil Smith is complete. Then he got some yards after the catch. Lawrence Galliard was closing in quickly, and he got to Thomas, the quarterback, just a step too late.
That was a good rush by, as you said, number 7, Lawrence Galliard. Just a split second late. That play could have been disaster. Colonels were lucky to stop it where they did.
Fresh set of downs for the Purple People Eaters. They put a wide receiver in motion and hand it to him. This is Trey Scott. Trey Scott can't make anybody miss. He's thrown down 5 yards deep in the backfield. A flag comes out very late as you get some banter after the play by a couple players from each team. The stop was by Christian Gilbert. It's a loss of 5. Let's see who the penalty goes against, Dave. It could be one of those offsetting deals because, let's face it, in those situations, it's very rarely just one-sided that only one guy's doing the talking.
Brian Moses was number 14 out there talking with Jacob Adams. We'll see what the referees decide.
Had the impression they weren't discussing the fine weather we have here tonight. Penalty's going to go against Altavista. 15 yards, it's going to be close to the first down marker, if not a first down because it's a unsportsmanlike conduct play. Yeah, it is. It's a first down.
I think that's automatic.
I think you're right. 46-yard line now. It's Prince Edward's 5th first down of the ball game. 1:37 left to play in the half, so the clock is working against the Eagles now. Thomas wants to throw, looking right, got hit, picked off. It's Lawrence Galliard again, his second interception of the game, and he's got nothing but green grass in front of him. Touchdown, Altavista. This time it's a 43-yard interception by Lawrence Galliard and a pick six. It's Lawrence's second one of the ball game. Heavy pressure coming from the Colonels defense really allowed that ball to just float into Lawrence's hands. He read the quarterback again, Dave, and his second interception touchdown of the night.
Big, tall Lawrence Galliard had to reach down a little bit to scoop up that low throw. The quarterback was hit right as he threw the ball, and I didn't get the number of the Colonel defender that put it on him, but he got up very slowly, had to be helped up off the ground by another Prince Edward Eagle.
On a night where the Colonels' offense has really struggled, the Colonels' defense has shined. Second touchdown of the night for them, second one for Lawrence Galliard, second extra point for Nick Boley. Colonels lead 14-0. Just under 90 seconds to play in the half when you come back to 105.5 KD Country.
It's cold in here. Will your heating system keep you warm this winter, or will you spend a cold evening shivering under the covers? Have your heating system inspected today by Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling. Kent Tyree has over 20 years experience and specializes in heating, air, plumbing, and electrical. Licensed and bonded. Call for an appointment today. 309-2266. 309-2266. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling.
Your station for high school sports play-by-play is 105.5 KD Country.
Prince Edward passing plays have turned into the Altavista Colonels' best offense. Lawrence Galliard with his second pick six of the night. First one came from 45 yards out in the first quarter. This one from 43 yards out with 1:24 left to play in the half, Dave. It gives the Colonels a 14-0 advantage.
Good going for the Colonels, and we got to get the offense going. Don't know that we'll have much time here before the half to sort that out with 1:24 left in the first half of play.
Colonels +3 in the turnover department. The two picks from Lawrence Galliard and a fumble recovery by Jonathan Montague.
Lawrence out there on the special teams, too, on the right-hand side of the line.
I bet he's still pretty pumped up, Dave. What do you want to bet he's one of the first guys down here in on this stop? And the Colonels do have to be concerned because Prince Edward return men have some very good ability. Oh, Walker lets this one slip through the wickets. He's going to pick it up around the 1-yard line. Started right, now turning it back to the left. He's in trouble. He's running left to right across his own goal line. The football is out. The Colonels have it. The football is out, and the Colonels have scored. Touchdown, Altavista.
I didn't see who picked
that
up.
The special teams touchdown, it's Traquan Farmer on the touchdown. He holds the ball high in the air. Somehow I think he knew that you couldn't tell, so he held it up to show everybody, hey, I've got the football.
Thank you.
Colonels have scored twice on defense and now once on special teams. Traquan Farmer with a fumble recovery in the end zone for 6 for the Altavista Colonels.
Well, that all started when the Eagles' Payne let the ball go through his legs, trying to field it like a shortstop, but it got through the wicket.
Wow. Nick Boley on for the extra point again. Kick. This one, he looked like he pushed it to the right just a little bit, but it stayed inside the right upright. Kick is good. Colonels lead 21-0. 1:13 left to go in the half. Who knows? They might score again before the halftime buzzer. Come on back and find out on 105.5 KD Country.
Hello, this is Jerry Miley from 1433 Altavista Moose Center. It's asking everybody to come on down and join us and see what the Moose is all about to help us support our Moose Heart, Moose Haven family. Anybody's welcome to come down and take a tour of our building and see what's going on. Come on down and we'll let you in and we can have some fun. We're looking forward.
Meet Jerry and the rest of the Altavista Moose family and become a member. The Altavista Moose Family Center on Lynch Mill Road.
More live high school sports action on 105.5 KD Country.
We return to Prince Edward High School. The Colonels up 3 scores, 21-0. The most recent touchdown coming from the hands of Traquan Farmer. There was 4 or 5 Colonels around the football again, Dave. I was with you. It was hard to tell who came out of there with it. But when Farmer extended the trophy to the sky, that really helped out.
It did help a lot. And you got to be excited about the Colonels' score and the defense. We do have to get the offense going here in the second half.
Some offense would be nice. I'm sure that's going to be addressed in the halftime huddle by the coaches. 21-0, though. Colonels lead, 2 defensive scores and 1 special team score. Foley's going to kick it right again, fielded by Trey Scott, just inside the right sideline. He's hit hard around the 20 and then dropped at the 21-yard line.
Jacob Adams in there as one of the tacklers.
Lawrence Galliard down there as well. If you joined us late, Lawrence Galliard has 2 interception returns for touchdowns. Traquan Farmer has the other score for the Altavista Colonels, that one coming just moments ago. Prince Edward will start this drive from their own 21-yard line. 1:07 left to play in the first half. Wouldn't be shocking to see them take a knee and just get in the locker room, but I think they want to try and run some offense here, Dave.
Thomas is back in there at quarterback for Prince Edward. Low snap.
Oh, he managed to hand it off just barely. That's a Neil Walker. Pinballing off tacklers. He's not going to make Mateo Malbeck miss, though. Malbeck hit him hard there. Gilbert was around the tackle as well. Under 1 minute to play now.
Quarterback Thomas gets up very slowly once again.
Got to give a Neil Walker a lot of credit. He made several defenders miss, but he spent about 5 or 6 seconds in his own backfield. There's only so long you can stay back there before the Colonels' defense is going to find you on their radar. 3 down linemen for Altavista. 4 linebackers, 4 in the secondary. Shotgun formation for Prince Edward on 2nd and long. Thomas hands off again to Walker. Walker going nowhere. Strung down in the backfield. Called a 2-yard loss. And here comes a timeout on the field. The tackle was by Aaron Close. It looks like the Colonels are taking the timeout. Don't see anybody going to the huddle just yet, though. They give them credit for it. I heard a whistle blow. Maybe they're not taking a timeout. Yes, they are. Clock is stopped with 18.4 seconds left, Dave. We got into this one late, so let's just keep it here. And I can tell you about the Orca coolers at English's, made in the USA and sold exclusively at English's, your complete home center. It's going to get hot again. That Orca cooler is going to come in handy, and even if it's not this summer, this stuff is built to last. The Orca coolers made right here in the USA.
Sounds like a good deal at English's.
Sure is.
And thank them for sponsoring our ball games tonight and every week.
Yeah, don't know if Brent, Donnie, and the whole crew down there at English's have made the trip up. They might be listening right now, as we do have a lot of folks tuned in. We thank you for that. If you want us to talk about you, get in touch with the KD Country Facebook. I'm on Twitter. And we'll send a shout-out your way. Colonels lead 21-0. 18.4 seconds left before the Subway halftime show. I think it's a pretty good move here by Coach Sharness, though, Dave, to stop the clock on a 3rd and long.
Yeah.
I mean, heck, the way the Colonels' defense has been scoring, this might be a great scoring opportunity.
3rd and 17, you might think the Eagles would pass, although they could run out the clock. I guess they got a couple of options.
If I'm James Ford, I don't really want to put the ball in the air, seeing as how I've thrown 2 of them to Altavista for touchdowns. But sometimes when you're an attacking-minded, offensive type of coach like James Ford, you never say die, that kind of thing. So we'll see. They may put it up on 3rd and long. It's about 3rd and 20. Joel Thomas does want to throw. Slinging it out to the right. It's a wobbly pass that just finds nobody.
And one of the Colonels racked up Thomas again.
Yep.
Over on the right-hand side. Coming in there was the number 2, Montague.
I think Jonathan Montague in the backfield there to provide the pressure. Stephen Farmer was around as well. That pass just fell harmlessly incomplete around the 20-yard line.
And Thomas is not getting up.
No, he's not. Timeout on the field. Let's take it with him. There's 14 seconds left in the first half. Colonels are scheduled to get the football back on a punt. They lead 21-0 when you return to 105.5 KD Country.
You can buy paint from any old yahoo who knows nothing about paint in one of those big box stores. For quality paint from people who really know paint, it's Davis Paints from your complete home center, English's. Davis Paints, which has been known for quality since 1921, is not just sold anywhere. Visit the new paint room at English's, your authorized Davis Paint dealer.
English's is your complete home center.
On North Main Street, Altavista.
Back to the press box for high school sports on 105.5 KD Country.
21-0. Colonels on top. I'm Kyle. He's Dave. Punting situation for the Prince Edward Eagles. Snap gets back to Khalil Smith. He gets a nice big boot on it. It's going to get fielded at exactly the 50-yard line by Mateo Malbeck. Splits a couple defenders. hit hard around the 40, thrown down at the 35-yard line. 15-yard return for Malback, and it gives the Colonels a chance with 2.3 seconds left, Dave. Do you throw the ball deep to the end zone, or do you trot out Nick Boley for what would be a very long field goal? It'd probably be about a 50-yarder, maybe 55, actually.
Yeah, at least where the ball is situated here. Yeah, I think that's too long for Nick and most other high school kickers, too. So Colonels maybe put it up in the air. I don't know. We saw Thomas, the Prince Edward quarterback, get up and come off under his own power, but he was holding his right arm there a little bit against his chest. So we'll see what happens in the second half.
Yeah, Joel Thomas has taken some punishment. You got to give the Colonels defense a lot of credit for being in Prince Edward's backfield. Thomas has had moments where he's had time to throw, and the Prince Edward O-line has actually blocked pretty good on some running plays, but it almost feels like they have abandoned that strategy just a little bit here, and they do trail 21-0, so maybe that's natural. There is a timeout on the field. The Altavista Colonels took it. I think they want to discuss this last-second play. It's a great opportunity here for Altavista to try, maybe you don't call it a Hail Mary, but, you know, a long throw, take a shot in the end zone, because you could get put in this situation where it's a tie game or you're down 6 or 7 and you have to score with no time on the clock or very little time on the clock.
This could be what Hayden Fry used to call a gadget play.
Love the gadgets and the exotics. They recently erected a statue at Iowa of Hayden Fry. Did you see that?
I did.
He said, I don't know, this guy's good looking, but I don't know who he is. Is this me? When did I look like that?
Good artistic work.
They had to remind him, you looked this good back then. Passing play here on 1st and 10. Ballback's going to pull it down and run. Lowers the shoulder about 5 yards beyond the line of scrimmage there just to deliver a little punishment as the half ends. Colonels will trot off into the locker room with a big lead. 21-0. Altavista on top. Subway halftime show coming when you come back to 105.5 KD Country.
Napa know-how. This month at Napa, professional-grade Carlisle tools are on sale for up to 50% off. They're so well made, they may be the last tools you ever buy. Why isn't everything else made this well? Because then you'd have nothing left to fix with those new Carlisle tools. Now up to 50% off. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
At participating Napa Auto Parts stores while supplies last. Some exclusions apply. Offer expires 9/30/16.
Brought to you by Napa of Altavista, proud supporter of the Altavista Colonels.
How do we make a better sandwich at Subway? Our new chicken Caesar melt is a great example. We start with tender rotisserie-style chicken that's raised without antibiotics. Top it with a savory Caesar sauce and add melted provolone and a sprinkle of Parmesan cheese for a flavor that's so deliciously unique, it redefines what a better sandwich should taste like. The all-new chicken Caesar melt from Subway. Limited time only.
Good food, low prices, and great service keep customers coming back for more day after day at El Cazador Mexican Restaurant in Altavista. El Cazador is now open all afternoon, so you can come by anytime, any day, 11 a.m. till 10 p.m. El Cazador Mexican Restaurant, a great place to unwind and relax with friends. Open 7 days a week, Main Street, Altavista. El Cazador thanks you for your business.
PCM Industrial of Altavista offers mobile welding and repair services, fully equipped service trucks and certified craftsmen, and quick response to satisfy your needs. Contact PCM Industrial at powerconstruction.com. PCM Industrial is a fully insured Class A licensed contractor, OSHA and MSHA compliant. PCM Industrial Services of Altavista wishes Coach Sharness and the Altavista Colonels football team good luck in another winning season.
Your high school sports station with award-winning coverage on 105.5 KD Country.
Subway halftime show arrives at Prince Edward High School. The Colonels sporting a 21-0 lead. I'm Kyle Hoehne. He's Dave Hoehne. Eleanor and Katie, our sound engineers, back at the studio. And Dave, the Colonels have not engineered much offense, but the defense and the special teams has really bailed them out. 2 interception returns from Lawrence Galliard for touchdowns, and then Traquan Farmer with a fumble recovery in the end zone on a kickoff for a touchdown. That brings us to the 21-0 margin.
Excellent defense by the Colonels, and interestingly enough, a couple of their, what I think are key guys, are sitting out tonight's game with injuries.
Chancellor Mormon and Jamellen Jones. Yeah, it's a very good point by you, and maybe something we haven't mentioned just yet, that they are doing this without two defensive starters.
The Colonels, I think Sharness's game plan, or Revis's game plan, I'm not sure which, was to really pressure the quarterback, and we've seen that particularly in the second quarter several times. Joel Thomas slow to get up, the senior quarterback for Prince Edward. So the Colonels are accomplishing that part of their game plan. The offense, well, we saw a little more of it in the second quarter, but really hasn't, I don't know, we have more than one first down?
2 first downs. Yep, yeah. 2 first downs, and they both came on that drive that the Colonels started on their own 1-yard line. Mateo Malback using the feet to pick up those 2 first downs, and that was needed. You don't want to have to operate from the shadow of your own goalpost too much, and even worse when you got to punt it away from your own end zone. So that was big there for Altavista, but to your point, that's really been the extent of the offense, that drive.
I don't know what the total yards will be here in the first half, but most of them are the 37 yards that Mateo Malback had on his run.
Yeah, exactly. He had the long 37-yard run. Colonels were 3 and out every other time before that, Dave. They did pick up the 1 first down that came back because of penalty. But other than that, not much to speak of on the offensive side of the ball. Always something to talk about at Subway, though. Katie went with the chicken teriyaki. That's an old favorite. And then Eleanor went with her classic, the turkey sub. We encourage her to branch out and try new things, but, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right?
Well, tried and true, sometimes it's hard to get away from something that you really like. So I don't have a problem with that. I oftentimes get the meatball myself.
I know you do.
It's kind of a standard.
You're a meatball fan, and you're right. It is hard to beat your favorite.
It used to be roast beef, but, as time went by, Subway added more and more different types of sandwiches.
Right.
So I was able to branch out.
So at one point you did branch out. Well, I suppose at one point Eleanor tried the turkey sub for the first time. I mean, I guess you have to branch out at one point.
Right. If you've never been there before, you don't know.
Right. That's right. Well, that's what we're here for, to give you the ideas. And there's a couple there. Also, the new Chicken Caesar Melt is available at Subway for a limited time only.
And I think you did mention the $6 footlong.
Of course I did. Everybody thought it was a mistake. I had multiple people texting me saying, I think you made a mistake. You said 2 footlongs for $6. It's not a mistake. Saturdays and Sundays, folks. 2 footlongs for $6. That's at the Altavista Main Street location, the Altavista Walmart location, and the Gretna location. 2 footlongs for $6.
They must really want your business.
They really do. That's Saturdays and Sundays only, but you got to eat on the weekends too. So,
well, that's right. And the ladies were saying a little bit earlier when they went into Subway tonight that the service was really good. So,
yes, Mike and Stephanie, high regards there from the KD Country crew. Pardon me. Keep up the good work. Probably listening to us down at Subway right now. If you are, you're hearing a 21-0 Colonels advantage at halftime. We'll take a timeout and talk about this game, and we'll get you some scores from some other games as the Subway halftime show rolls on. Colonels on top, 21-0. We're back for more after this on 105.5 KD Country.
You're listening to Colonel Sports on 105.5 KD Country, WKDE, Altavista, Lynchburg.
Tonight's game is brought to you by these members of the KD Country Sports Club.
El Cerrito in Altavista. Throw on a sombrero, shake your maracas. It's El Cerrito time. Authentic Mexican cuisine only El Cerrito can serve up.
The Medicine Shop in Altavista. Your Carolina boot headquarters with all sizes and styles of Carolina boots. The Medicine Shop, a full-service pharmacy.
One Stop Mart, Main Street, Altavista, where gas is cheap, beverages are cold, and the chicken is kicking.
They're doing it right at the Dairy Freeze. Hot dogs, burgers, fries, and, of course, ice cream. Dairy Freeze on Main Street, Altavista.
Radio Shack and Crystal Bay Pools, Altavista, serving your area since 1989 for swimming pool installations, chemicals, liners, and more.
Get on the winning team and come find one of a kind. Shoppers, did you know Altavista has several unique antique stores? Check out the great selection at Mad Biddy's, 105 Wood Lane Road, or stop by Vintage on Broad to see where the American pickers have been. Try the Main Street Trading Company, offering unique home accents, jewelry, and more. An invitation from the Altavista Office of Economic Development. More information online at altavistaontrack.net.
Finch and Finch Funeral and Cremation Service. A family serving family since 1905.
Life is full of opportunities to show someone we love them. One such opportunity is the funeral or memorial service. Finch and Finch helps you celebrate the relationships they shared and honors the memory of your loved one.
Finch and Finch Funeral and Cremation Service. A family serving family since 1905.
Now back to the action with Colonel Sports on 105.5 KD Country.
Subway halftime show returns in the midst of a very good performance from the Prince Edward Marching Band. I'm Kyle Hoehne. He's Dave Hoehne. Dave, let me run down a few scores for you right now. Most of these games are at halftime, I believe, or close anyway. Gretna leads Tunstall 14-12. Patrick Henry and JF are tied at 21. Appomattox 10, Russburg 0. Central Lunenburg, a team we saw last week, leading William Campbell 21-14. Brookville is up 35-7 over Western Albemarle, and Liberty on top of Rockbridge 14-0. You want to talk about the concession confession. This is a segment that you and our very fine KD Country broadcaster Mark Slusher used to do, where you talk about the concession stands, all the places you went. Oscar and I, you know, we're on diet, so we just phased that out. No, I'm kidding. We go to the concession stand, obviously. But what'd you think about tonight up here in Farmville?
Well, it would be a good night to go on a diet. Now, we get there a little bit early, so in fairness to the folks in the concession stand, the hot dogs weren't ready yet, so it's kind of hard to evaluate. They had a lot of good choices of candy.
They did.
Mike and Ike's and the Sweet Tarts.
Don't tell your dentist.
Oh, all right, yeah. So I guess the good part about the concession stand here is the prices are real low.
Prices were low. I got a bag of chips and 3 drinks for $4.
Yeah, that's a pretty good deal. And I got a bottle of water and chips, and I don't know, it was $2 or something like that.
It's that. They practically paid you to take it.
They did. They gave me a whole wad of bills back. So I gotta give them credit for that. And in looking over there at the concession stand now, there are a lot of people crowded around, so they must have a few hot dogs left.
Well, and we didn't try the hip-hop ice cream shop, the mobile ice cream unit that they have to the right there. We felt that it was a little cold for frosted dairy treats on a night like tonight, but I think a lot of people like that. It looked like they had the freeze pops and the ice cream pops, you know.
Yeah, so we'll give them a pass this time around, and we'll see what the other places are like as we go down the road this season. Next week we're going to be going to Greenville. That'll be a trip.
Greensville County is the location down there in Emporia. They came and played Altavista last year. A lot of people were doing that old head-scratching thing. Where's this? How come I've never seen this on a map? But right there off Route 58, where Route 58 and I-85 meet there in Emporia, or is it I-95? I don't know.
I think it's probably 95.
Is it 95? Okay, pardon me. Flunked Virginia geography. But, no, it's going to be a long trip, but it's going to be a fun trip. And hopefully, if you can't make the long drive, you'll join us. KDCountry.com with the TuneIn app or on good old 105.5.
The Prince Edward Eagles have gone to the locker room up here on the scoreboard end of the field. Down on the left-hand side under the goalpost, the Altavista Colonels are getting some second-half strategy as the coaches meet first to kind of formulate a game plan and maybe some changes for the second half.
I'm sure there's going to be some adjustments on the offensive end, Dave. I mean, the Colonels' defense has played wonderful. They've allowed 5 Prince Edward first downs, but they've also scored twice on interception returns. Lawrence Galliard doing the honors there, and then the fumble recovery on special teams by Traquan Farmer. But the Altavista defense, 5 times touching the football, 6 times the Altavista offense, right? 6 times touching the football, 5 punts, and then one, the half just ran out on them there on the final drive of the half. But that's certainly not going to be good enough for Mike Sharness's standards. And I don't know, I'm kind of in my head right now trying to think about some adjustments that they can make. Hey, I guess they haven't really tried an option play yet, Dave. They haven't tried to throw the ball much. Part of that is they haven't really had time to try those things. The Prince Edward defensive line and linebackers are busting through the seams and getting in the Altavista backfield.
Yeah, when Colonels try to throw the ball, there's so much pressure on Malbeck at quarterback that you just got to get out of there, and he hasn't been able to escape in most cases. Colonels did find a little running room over the right side on a quick hitter, so maybe they've found something there that they can exploit.
Well, our buddy Oscar Briggs is tuned in. He told us we're doing a great job. I question his sanity on that. No, I'm just kidding. I think Oscar would say in one of these moments, and you got a high-pressure defense in your backfield, maybe it's time for the old screen play or the draw play. Maybe you can take advantage of their aggressiveness, or perhaps maybe some kind of misdirection, whether it's a reverse or something like that. I mean, I think obviously those tools are in the toolbox for Altavista. It's a question of whether you want to go to it necessarily. Might be a little bit early. It's week 2. That's usually not your base plays that you've been practicing since August 1st. So there is that, but we'll see. So it's going to be a good second half, I think.
The junior 6'2", Lawrence Galliard having a big night, not only with the interceptions, but he's been in on a lot of plays defensively from his linebacker spot. He's caused some pressure in there, and all the linebackers really have caused some problems for Prince Edward.
It's been a nice job by the Colonels' defense. They've been opportunistic. They've scored twice, once on special teams. And you're right, Lawrence Galliard leading that charge, not just with the interceptions, but with tackling and playmaking as well. This is the Subway halftime show. Let's send some more shout-outs, Dave. Can we do that?
Yeah, we got time.
Our dear friend and former Colonel Deja Berger tuned in, up there at JMU. And current Colonel Addison Mormon, she couldn't make the trip. So she's listening at home. She wants to wish the guys good luck, and also good luck to all the other fall teams. I know the Altavista golf team got a win the other day. The Altavista volleyball team doing their usual great stuff. So good times to be a Colonel, and it should be a good second half. Let's step aside for a quick timeout. Scoreboard shows 2 more minutes for the warm-ups here, so maybe we'll take some of that to catch our breath. Altavista on top, 21-0 over Prince Edward. You're hearing it all live on 105.5 KD Country.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes in Virginia are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education.
Brought to you by English Construction Company, with offices in Lynchburg.
No one knows trucks like we know trucks. Come see us and you'll agree. From small to tall, we've got it all. Highview Motors, GMC. Come on in. Bring the family and see your friends at Highview Motors, GMC. From small to tall, we've got it all. Highview Motors, GMC.
Your home for Colonel sports coverage. 105.5 KD Country.
Back here from Prince Edward High School, Altavista Colonels football, our 54th season of award-winning sports coverage, Dave. That's a long time.
That is. We haven't been award-winning 52 years.
Yeah, right. I don't know. Did they even have the awards back then?
Probably not. They didn't have any state playoff games or,
That's true,
or divisions.
Right.
So things were different back when all this started. So different that they would record the games on Friday night and play them back on Saturday morning.
Yeah, we were talking to our good friends Ron Campbell and Chester Brockwell, Charles Bowley, some of those guys about those old days. We've already mentioned Mark Slusher. We got to see our old buddy Les Woody today, so it's nice to think about the good old days sometimes.
Sometimes things, of course, were a lot different then, and that's all gone behind us. So let's move on with the future. The Colonels get to receive the kickoff here to start the second half. and that means that the offense will get a chance to go to work.
Well, I think, staying in the moment here, I think this will be a good test for Altavista for the offense to see how they can come out of the halftime break there, see how they operate. Not that you necessarily have to march down and go on an 80-yard drive and score, but let's see if they can gain some positive yards, get some momentum. I'm sure they made some adjustments over there. They actually didn't go into the locker room. They just huddled up under the left goalpost. Colonels will be going left to right from our perspective this half.
And for Prince Edward, you got to be a little bit concerned about their quarterback, Joel Thomas. He is here on the sidelines, but he took several vicious hits from the Colonels' defense, all legal, of course, but slow to get up several times. He looks like he might be favoring his left leg there a little bit, but we'll see what happens when he comes back offensively, but that might be a concern for the Eagles.
Here's an interesting thing to note, Dave. Prince Edward's kicking this ball off from their own 25-yard line instead of the usual 40.
So
must have had a penalty at halftime somehow? Or
yeah, I'm trying to figure that out, too. I didn't see a signal.
I mean, Prince Edward was out on the field. It couldn't have been a delay of game, but you're right. There was really no signal. They've got the ball teed up on their own 25, so this is guaranteed to give the Colonels better field position.
Colonels will get it at about the 30.
That's right. It is fielded there by Christian Gilbert on about the 27-yard line. Gilbert starts up the middle, down the left side now, across the numbers, closing in on the far sideline and dropped beyond the 50-yard line. He's in Prince Edward territory on a nice return, certainly aided by the 15-yard penalty of unknown origin. But Colonels don't mind. They'll start the second half from scrimmage on the Prince Edward 46-yard line.
Good run by Gilbert up the left-hand side of the field there and giving that good field position to Altavista. Really, except for I think this is the best field possession of the night. Starting possession.
It is. Yep. It is the final possession there on the punt.
Okay. Yeah.
May have been inside this. I think it started around the 35-yard line. Running play on first down. Ballback's going to keep it. Off right tackle, lowers the shoulder, stretches the ball out near the 40-yard line. Probably got to the 41-yard line, so call that a 4-yard gain on first down for Mateo Malback and the Altavista Colonels. 11:35 left to play in the third quarter. Third quarter brought to you, of course, by English's, your complete home center.
And, of course, that was the same play that worked under the Altavista goal line there, and Colonels got it out from their own deep territory, that Malback run off the right side.
He followed the snap, hit his hands, bounced off. Picks it up, thrown backwards for a loss of 10 yards. Snap was slightly off target.
Yep.
Certainly got his hands on it, but just couldn't reel it in. Actually, more of like in a loss of 11. So we'll call this now 3rd and 16 for the Altavista Colonels offense. They have had a few of those plays that maybe we haven't discussed, an errant snap here or there. No real fumbles, I don't think. I mean, I guess you call that a fumble in the stat sheet, don't you? They just got it back.
I suppose. At the 49 of Altavista now after that loss.
Well, I think statistically, if it hits the turf, it's a fumble. If you just bobble it in the air, it's not. Option play to the right. Malback can't pitch it out to Jacob Adams. He'll keep it himself. Thrown forward for a small gain. Not much. Well short of the first down marker. It's going to bring up 4th and long for the Colonels with 10:25 left to play in the third. They lead 21-0. But scheduled to punt it away here. Back to Prince Edward.
Malback was going to pitch it to Adams, but the defense was all over the backfield there, and it made no sense. He did the right thing, keeping it himself.
Colonel's drive that started in plus field position gets pushed back to their own side of the field. They'll snap this ball from the 49-yard line. Snap is low. Malback scoops it up. He's in trouble. He's not going to be able to punt it away. Hit hard at the Colonel's 40 and dropped there by 4 different Prince Edward players. The snap was offline low. Malback scooped it up, but there was no way he was going to be able to get a foot on it. He just had to get what yards he could and hold on to the football. He was successful in that regard, but this is going to be great starting field position for the Prince Edward Eagles, starting on the Altavista 40-yard line.
Well, Malback had 3 or 4 tacklers draped over him as he struggled for the yards. He was lucky to get back what he did.
Joel Thomas back in there at quarterback. The senior's taking some hard shots for Prince Edward, but he keeps coming back. 3 receivers, a blocking back,
And not enough men on the field as one hustles out there, number 54 for Prince Edward.
They were missing a right tackle. He's in there because they're going to run left instead. Stephen Farmer slowing down the ball carrier. That's a Neil Walker, but he can't bring him down. He's shoved out of bounds by McClure, Pinnell, and Montague. This is a decent pickup. Call it 6.5 yards on the first down running play for the Eagles.
Well, Anil just did a nice job of shaking off the tacklers and getting some good yardage out of that play for Prince Edward.
Yeah, Stephen Farmer had to play red perfectly, just couldn't bring Walker down. 2 running backs in the backfield, 3 wide receivers here on 2nd and 4. Left hash mark, handoff play again to Walker. This time the Colonels have him stuffed. A loss of 4. That's Aaron Close, Matt Aiken, and Traquan Farmer with the tackle for a loss for Altavista. Brings up 3rd and 10 now.
Good defense by the Colonels from those linebackers.
Prince Edward is 0 for 5 on 3rd down. See what they have here on this 3rd and 10 situation.
Well, in case you tuned in late, Prince Edward won their game last week, 62-7 over Windsor?
That's exactly right. Big win over Windsor on week 1. So somebody's moving to 2-0 this week, Dave, and somebody falls back to 500. Took a long time to get the playoff, and then there was some movement up front. I think it's actually a timeout. Good call there by James Ford. He sensed his team was not organized. Burns a timeout here. We'll take it with him. 3rd and 10 coming up for Prince Edward. They trail 21-0, just over 9 minutes left to play in the 3rd on 105.5 KD Country.
Compassionate Care Choices, Autumn Care, 24-hour skilled nursing, inpatient, outpatient, physical, occupational, and speech therapies. Autumn Care invites you to tour their facility in 2016, receiving the bronze quality by the American Healthcare Association. 5-star rating by Centers for Medicare, Medicaid Services. Autumn Care, a member of Sabre Healthcare Group, serving Altavista and surrounding areas since 1989.
Your station for high school sports play-by-play is 105.5 KD Country.
Altavista Colonels on top, 21-0 over the Prince Edward Eagles. We're here in Farmville. Glad you're joining us on a nice Friday night, week 2 of the VHSL high school football season. 3rd and 10 coming up for Prince Edward. Think they're going to get the ball airborne, Dave?
I would imagine.
It is a passing play. Looks right. Complete there in the right flat. Receiver makes the first man miss, and he's got a first down. Thrown up ahead across the 30-yard line, down now on the 28-yard line. It was number 13, Raekwon Payne. A short pass. It really hit pretty quick. Colonels had a beat on him, but could not pull him in. And that's first down yardage there for Prince Edward.
Colonels did have some good pressure from Lawrence Galliard off the right side. He was in the backfield, but just a second late as Thomas got the throw away.
Fresh set of downs here, middle of the field, Altavista 27-yard line. Prince Edward not really organized again, trying to check and make sure they got the play right. Here comes the snap. It's a little low, but handled. Running play on first down, going nowhere. Jonathan Montague in the backfield very quickly. He was joined by Lawrence Galliard, but it was a solo tackle from Johnny. He brought down number 2, Trey Scott.
Scott tried to run right, but like you say, Montague was right there quickly. And good play by the defense for Altavista. And they need it. They need their offense to take care of the ball, too.
Sure do. Lost 5 yards for Prince Edward. We call it 2nd and 15 from the far hash mark. Purple People Eaters are moving right to left from our perspective up here at the press box in Farmville. Shotgun snap on the way. Prince Edward's never gone under center yet today. Ball is loose. Football on the ground. That time was an unforced error. It's still squirting around out there, and I think Prince Edward got it back somehow.
Yeah, it bounced up in the air toward the Altavista goal.
Lineman fell on it. It's number 55 that ended up with it. That's Alex Hardy. More of a right place, right time type of situation. That ball just popped out of the ball carrier's hands. Now you got an Eagle player down on the field. Looks like he's going to hop up under his own power. We'll keep it here for the moment. Odd play there, Dave.
It was different. Like you say, there was trouble on the exchange. The ball hit the ground. Several players jumped on it. It finally squirted up in the air, and that's when the Eagles corralled it and fell on it.
It's a good way to recap it. I was going to say it's an odd play to describe, but you did a pretty nice job of it there. reset the stage here with 7:49 left to play in the third quarter. Altavista, 21-0 advantage. Lawrence Galliard, 2 interception returns for touchdowns. Count them, 2 for touchdowns. Traquan Farmer picked up a fumble in the end zone for the other score. Nick Boley has a perfect 3-for-3 mark on the extra points. That's how the Colonels have 21 points. Nothing from Altavista's offense. All punts and 1 1/2 just ran out on them. Not a great start here to the second half for the Colonels' offense, but the Colonels' defense seemingly picking up the slack. It'll be a 3rd and 15 situation for Prince Edward. Although the Eagles do have 1 first down on this drive, Dave.
And give the Eagles some credit. They're pretty strong up front, and they're pretty quick. And it's causing Altavista some problems, particularly offensively.
A number of quick defensive linemen and quick linebackers for Prince Edward. You're absolutely right. Colonel's trying to get the defensive coverage straight in the secondary. Ball's still not put in play yet by the officials. Now they seem to have things where they want it.
No, I think they're going to come over.
Still talking? One official is talking to James Ford.
Yep.
Now we may be getting close to ready here.
I don't know if that was an injury timeout and the player had to come off. Wasn't that number 69?
Yeah, that's a decent guess by you. As far now, the ref is going to go over and talk to Mike Sharness and maybe tell him what's up. Of course, if this was the NFL, they'd flip on the microphone and they'd tell everybody in the stadium and on TV what was going on. Sometimes here in high school football, we just have to sort of make up our own as we go, and that's okay too.
Sounded pretty plausible, though.
I think you're absolutely right. Apparently, we have jinxed Bob Alvis. He says Gary Sanchez is not having a good game for the New York Yankees tonight.
Oh, no home run?
No, exactly. Yeah, that's all he does is hit home runs and doubles. We're laughing and joking around because the officials still haven't put the ball in play yet.
They talked to Mike Sharness quite a while. Looks like we're almost ready to go here.
It says second down. Maybe that's what the strangeness was. Scoreboard says third down. Stick says second down. Your guess is as good as mine. We'll find out what happens here on the play. Running play here. That's Trey Scott. He starts off to the left, thinking about going to the sideline, then got reversed back inside. Taken down by Lawrence Galliard, Christian Gilbert, and also number 75, Melton Caleb. That was second down. Just heard the PA announcer say that'll bring up third down.
Okay. So somewhere along the way, things got a little disoriented.
Something happened.
Yes, it did.
Something always happens. You're right. I should be more descriptive. Here comes a flag in the backfield.
Wow.
I think Prince Edward's got too many men on the field. It is. It's exactly what it is. You saw the referee counting them off. They had an extra lineman up there. That's a nice play if you can get away with it. It's hard to stop an offense with 12 guys. Unfortunately, referees on their game tonight.
Backs them up almost to the 40-yard line of Altavista.
I wish I could say the same about the broadcasters. All right, third and a bus ride for Prince Edward here. Passing play. Heavy rush coming. Thomas escapes the grasp of one tackler. Going to pull it down and run. Nice tackle by Christian Gilbert, and the ball came out. The ball came out. Let's wait for a signal. Did the Colonels have it, or was Thomas down? He was down. Good hard hit there by Christian Gilbert to pop the football out.
McClure did end up falling on it, but like you say, they already said he was down. The ground could not cause the fumble.
Heavy rush caused Joel Thomas to pull it down. They're going to go for it on 4th and long. It's 4th and 20, Dave, and Prince Edward's going for it. Now the field position is okay here. They're in Altavista territory. They're going to snap this ball on the 37-yard line.
Comes
blitz play. Up in the air, intercepted by Shaheem Pinnell, but he's out of bounds, and it really is better that he was out of bounds because the Colonels are actually going to get better field position there without him intercepting it. Nice athletic play to go get it on the near sideline.
Well, and that's what you should be trained to do is go up for the ball and get it where you land.
6:30 left to play in the third quarter, 21-0. The Colonels on top after a strange sequence there where it would appear that Prince Edward got an extra down.
Even the scorekeeper was a little baffled by that exchange. But the referees did, in fairness, communicated with the coach.
They went and discussed with both sidelines. I would think if there was no discussion, you would have seen the Altavista sideline up in arms over there about it. They knew what was going on. Running play here. Look at Montague hit that hole hard. Tried to spin move about 4 yards beyond the line of scrimmage and got hit. But it's a nice pickup. He had a full head of steam going. That was probably the most acceleration we've seen from Jonathan Montague so far, wasn't it, Dave?
At 205 pounds, he bolted through that hole to the left side of the line, and a nice gain for the Colonels. And you're right, one of the best running plays we've seen tonight.
Maybe that's part of the adjustment for Altavista's offense, saying, hey, guys, let's just hit that hole hard. Don't tiptoe through there.
Get there quick.
2nd and 6 coming up. Running play again. Montague does hit it hard. Nice surge by the offensive line again. Now we're seeing a little bit of an adjustment from the Colonels' offense. This is good here, and it's good for a 3-yard gain. Still brings up 3rd down. We'll call it 3rd and probably 3.
Slant play for Montague that time, and he did carry some people downfield with him.
Ran behind that left side again of Triplett and Farmer. 3rd and 2, actually. 5:30 remains in the English's third quarter. Colonels lead 21-0. Their football here on 3rd down. Maulback gets the snap, hands it off to Montague again. He's got enough for a 1st down. Pardon me, that's actually Christian Gilbert. Gilbert falls forward to the 50-yard line. Enough for the necessary yardage, and that'll move the chains. 1st down for the Colonels.
Looked like he was slowed up a little bit at the line of scrimmage, but used some extra surge to get forward for the 1st down. Another nice run for Altavista.
Well, and after a few running plays there, Dave, I think we can both agree that was one of the big points of emphasis at halftime. Let's hit the hole hard. Let's get off the football on time and really make these guys pay. They'll put Adams in motion. He'll swing over to the right side of the field. Handoff play again. And this time Gilbert has some room. He's across the 40 down to the 30. Got tracked down from behind at the 25-yard line. Christian Gilbert with a 25-yard pickup on 1st down. That's enough for another 1st down for the Colonels. Back-to-back chain movers there for Christian Gilbert.
We haven't had a lot of offense tonight, but maybe there's still some freshness in the Colonels' legs where maybe wear this Prince Edward defense down a little bit.
Looks like Pinnell's in the backfield now, joining a blocking back and Mateo Maulback, the quarterback. Here's the snap. They hand it to Shaheem. He's hit hard right in the leg and dropped before he could get going. That's more of what we saw in the first half from Prince Edward's defense, shooting those gaps and creating havoc in the Colonels' backfield. That's a loss of 1 on 1st down.
Colonels are trying to get the hold of quicker, and I would think that Coach Sarnas said something at halftime like, let's quit playing patty cake out there and hit the hole.
Maybe not in those words,
Well, slightly different.
I tend to agree with you, though, for sure. 4:05 left to play in the 3rd quarter. Clock continues to turn. It's an Altavista lead. They've got the football 2nd and a long 10 coming up here. From the far hash mark, they're working left to right in the road, white jerseys. Maulback taking some time here on this play. Now the snap comes out. He fakes it to Pinnell. Going to roll to his right. Bootleg pass, throwing for the end zone. Oh, had a man open. That was Jordan Spinner, but the ball was just slightly overthrown. Nice route by Spinner. A good play in the backfield for the Colonels' O-line to protect Maulback on that rollout pass. Everything well designed, just not exactly a high percentage pass when you're talking about throwing it 25 yards into the end zone.
Well, and as Maulback rolled out here to the right side, he had to stop and plant his feet to throw it, and just as he released the ball, the defender hit him, and that may have caused the pass to be off a little bit.
3rd and a long 10 coming up. Pinnell is in the backfield. Maulback, the quarterback. Wide receivers are Galliard, Adams, and Spinner. They're going to put Adams in motion. He'll fan out to the right. That's the wide side of the field. Running play. They hand it off to Pinnell. Pinnell hit hard in the backfield again. Not much there. Maybe got it back to the line of scrimmage. Going to bring up 4th and 10 and decision time for the Altavista Colonels. They're deep in Prince Edward territory here at the 25. I don't foresee a punt from this distance, Dave.
I can see where the Colonels might try a long field goal here.
Doesn't look like Nick Boley is appearing from the sideline, so I think they're going for it on 4th and 10. 3:21 left to play in the English's, your complete home center, 3rd quarter.
Prince Edward tried for, on 4th and 17, or 4th and 20, whatever it was. Caution to the wind here.
Adams goes in motion again. Passing play. Oh, they had McClure over the middle, and he couldn't pull it in. McClure had the defense beat. Khalil Scott was in the area providing some pressure, so it wasn't exactly just an easy pitch and catch. I think McClure kicking himself a little bit that he couldn't pull it in. Another well-designed passing play. Doesn't get the Colonels any yards, though, and it's a turnover on downs. Prince Edward will take over on their own 26-yard line. I like the call. I really do. And, I mean, interesting to see the Colonels throwing the football a little bit more there. Both times it would appear that it almost worked out, but just not quite on target on the passes.
The ball got on McClure real quick. He didn't have much of a chance to haul it in.
It was the fastball from Malbec for sure. Good call by you. Prince Edward going to get the whistles blown before they could get started. Let's see what this one's about. They're going to wave that flag off. I wonder if the ref was counting up the players again, Dave, and he thought maybe he saw a 12th player. It's like a nightmare out there sometimes.
We're ready to go.
1st and 10 for Prince Edward. Far hash mark, their own 26-yard line. Snap is low. Thomas, I thought, was on the ground again. Football is out again. That ball is picked up by the Colonels. No whistles yet. No signals just yet. Let's wait and see if Altavista has it. I think they do.
I think Traquan Farmer was in there on the ball.
He hit him. I think it was 72. Tevin Pierman that picked it up. This is a fumble recovery for Altavista. Colonels football. Prince Edward can't believe it. The players are incredulous. They thought it was a pass. And, you know, Thomas's arm was moving, Dave. Again, you don't have instant replay, so that's a split-second decision for the referees.
Well, it started with a bad snap that Thomas was able to handle, and like you say, he was trying to have a passing play, but he got hit right as he was trying to release it.
He did. We'll give Traquan Farmer credit for jarring it loose and Tevin Pierman credit for picking it up. 1st and 10 for Altavista with great field position. 25-yard line. Ball back starts right, cuts back left, still on his feet momentarily, then hit by the Prince Edward swarm there.
Body's still flying around in there after the whistle.
It's hard-nosed football out there for sure. He's 2nd and 8 after a 2-yard gain there on the quarterback keeper. 2 minutes and 30 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Altavista on top, 21-0.
Ball back looking to the sidelines. The play from the Altavista offensive brain thrust.
Good turn by you. Man, did you read the thesaurus last night or something? Come up with that?
I spent all night looking at that.
Excellent. Adams in motion again to the right. Ball back throwing. Slant pattern looking for Lawrence Galliard. It's batted away. Nice coverage out there by number 3, Zion Lewis on the pass breakup. Going to make it 3rd and 8 now.
Lewis could have had a pick 6 there because he stepped in front and there wasn't much between him and the end zone.
Well-timed defensive play there by Zion Lewis. Officials are discussing again. I wonder if we got another flag out there.
I don't see it, but I
don't either. I'm going to talk to, looks like they talked to Matt Aiken there. Aiken probably the defensive captain. I think we've got a penalty against Prince Edward.
We'll wait and see. They're discussing it with Coach Sharness over there.
No, the penalty's against Altavista, Dave.
Wow.
It's a 15-yarder. Backing them up. It must have been a personal foul out there somewhere in the secondary. Yeah, referee does hand the flag back to his cohort there.
Yep.
That was a personal foul penalty on the Altavista Colonels. Not exactly sure what happened. It was away from the ball.
Yeah, it was in the Prince Edward backfield. Well, I'm sorry, in the secondary.
Yep. Yep. Colonels lead 21-0. Now they've got 2nd and 25. Does that look right to you? It's tough to add all those yards up.
Yeah, 24, 25, something like that.
Man in motion is Jordan Spinner. They fake it to him. Passing play. Looking over the top to McClure. McClure was tied up in his route there. He's arguing that it should have been a pass interference call. Referees let him play.
Yeah.
That's incomplete.
They may say the ball was uncatchable, but like you say, McClure got wrapped up in the secondary.
3rd and long now. If Oscar Briggs was here, he would use his patented line, 3rd and a bus ride. It's at least 22 yards. Timeout on the field. Colonels want to talk over this 3rd down play. We'll talk it over with them. They lead 21-0. 2:06 left to play in the third quarter on 105.5 KD Country.
Altavista High School football is brought to you by Steve Farmer Auto Sales. Steve Farmer Auto Sales, where there's always a good selection of cars, trucks, and SUVs. And they're priced right with financing available. See Steve Farmer Auto Sales, 1112 Main Street, Altavista. The next time you get ready to make a change. Steve Farmer Auto Sales. Best deals on wheels.
More live high school sports action on 105.5 KD Country.
The always ready KD Country broadcasting crew here in our 54th season of high school sports. Colonels are facing a third and very long, Dave, and the offense hasn't been particularly great up to this point. Never know, though. Let's see if they can pull something out of the bag. Again, they're in Prince Edward territory here at the 32-yard line, so you could make the case that this is four-down territory. Maybe you don't have to get this whole chunk of yards in one bite.
That's a good thought. The Prince Edward defense is stiffened here a little bit, plus the Colonels have hurt themselves with a personal foul.
Prince Edward defense packed up on that line of scrimmage there. I mean, they had everybody within about 7 yards of the football showing blitz. Even the safety is only about 7 yards deep. Cornerbacks were playing press coverage on the Colonel receivers. I think that's why Altavista's opted to throw the ball a little bit more, Dave. They think they can beat the secondary long. They're probably right, but you do have to execute it.
So two wide receivers and a man in the slot over there.
While we were talking, a 5-yard penalty on the Colonels. Pass rollout play here. Maulback's going to sprint out to the left. He's going to keep it himself. Going down left sideline, had some room, slid down, went to the turf around the 22-yard line. It was a solid 12-yard pickup, but far from the first down marker. Now, what we talked about. Let's see what's going on. Looks like Nick Boley is going to trot out from the sideline and try a field goal for Altavista here on fourth down.
Well, like you suggested, the Colonels could get part of it back, and they did on that play. And we'll see what Boley can do from this distance.
Wise play there by Mateo Maulback then to hang on to the football and just get the yardage that he could. It's going to be kicked from the left hash mark. They'll place the kicking tee on the 30-yard line. So we'll call it a 40-yarder for Nick Boley. We were watching him kick 40-yarders in practice. He was probably around 50% from 40 yards. Snap is back. Boley's kick is a line drive boot. It has the distance, and it's good. Nick Boley from 40 yards out. What a kick there. It brings the Colonels' advantage to 24-0. Points from the defense, points from the special teams, and points from the foot of Nick Boley. We'll take a timeout. Prince Edward football when you come back with 1:08 left to play in the third quarter on 105.5 KD Country.
Introducing D.L. Bryant Heating and Cooling. A name you've grown to trust, Donnie Bryant is back with D.L. Bryant Heating and Cooling. As an American Standard dealer, D.L. Bryant Heating has the tools and the talent to handle all of your heating and cooling issues, large or small. Call 841-1580. That's 841-1580 for D.L. Bryant Heating and Cooling. Call 841-1580 for a name you can trust, Donnie Bryant and D.L. Bryant Heating and Cooling.
Back to the press box for high school sports on 105.5 KD Country.
Well, the Colonels graduated an all-state kicker in Walker Allen last year, Dave, but Nick Boley showing he is more than capable of filling those shoes, pardon the pun. The 40-yard field goal there from the foot of Boley. He's a perfect 3 for 3 on the extra points, and the Colonels have expanded their lead 24-0.
The senior kicked a line drive. It didn't clear the uprights by about more than 3 feet, but it didn't need to.
Didn't need to. Excellent kick there, and smooth operation from the long snap and the hold as well. All those parts are integral into the success of that field goal, especially when you're talking about a long-distance bomb like that. Boley on for the kickoff now. I have a feeling that the Colonels' kick coverage team smells blood in the water. They've already got one touchdown on a kick coverage type of fumble. Boley on the run-up and the kick. This one good distance, too. It'll bounce on the 20-yard line and get fielded on the 15. That's Scott. Scott goes up the middle, now turning towards the left side. He's up the near sideline here with some room to run. Cuts it back in. Now he meets stiff resistance from the Colonels, but he got it all the way out to the 40-yard line. Good return there from number 2, Trey Scott.
Scott bounced off Altavista's number 10, Christian Gilbert, and then picked up some extra yards after that. So Gilbert could have nailed him there. He'd have been back at about the 25-yard line.
Colonel's defense so far this half picking right where they left off. They forced a fumble. They forced Prince Edward to turn it over on downs. Here comes 1st and 10 from the near hash mark. Wide side of the field is the right for Prince Edward. Head high snap for Thomas. He hands off to Neil Walker. Walker darting in and out of holes. Never really quite got the full head of steam, and he's dropped for call it a 0-yard gain. I thought he might have gotten a little more, but the referees spot him back at the line of scrimmage.
Stephen Farmer made the first hit, number 52 for the Colonels, coming off his linebacker spot.
35 seconds left to play in the English's third quarter. This is probably going to end up being the last play from scrimmage for Prince Edward. We'll see. If it's a passing play, maybe not. New quarterback in there for Prince Edward. Keep an eye out for this. We'll identify him in a second. That's Zion Lewis faking the handoff, keeping it himself. Now he's off to the right sideline and off to the races, shoved out of bounds short of the first down marker, right around second base. Football field doubles as the baseball field here at Prince Edward. It's not going to be the final play of the third quarter. 15.1 seconds left. Good.
Altavista bench over there on the infield, as you said, around second base, and they finally knocked him out of bounds.
Get the fungo out, guys. Let's get some work in. 8-yard scamper from Zion Lewis. It'll bring up 3rd and 2. He's still in there at quarterback. He's got 2 receivers to each side. Running back to his right. He'll give it to him. Up the middle goes Neil Walker. Close to the first down marker. I think, judging by the spot right here on the 50-yard line, he's going to have enough for it. We'll see.
We'll see where the referees spot it. Looks like right on the 50, first down.
That is just the first third down conversion for Prince Edward today, Dave, tonight. They've got multiple first downs in the game, but it's the first time they've successfully converted one on third down. Clock will run out on the third quarter. We've got one more in regulation to play. Colonels lead 24-0. 12 minutes of football left and a fresh set of downs for Prince Edward when you come back to 105.5 KD Country.
A short drive will save you money.
I'm Greg Walker with an exciting new offer from Feller Chevrolet. Purchase any new or used vehicle of Feller's and receive a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty and a 3-day, 100% money-back guarantee. Again, a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty and a 3-day money-back guarantee. At Feller Chevrolet, we stand behind what we sell, and we save you money. Come see us. You'll be glad you did.
A short drive will save you money. Feller Chevrolet in Altavista.
Your high school sports station with award-winning coverage on 105.5 KD Country.
Fourth quarter has arrived here at Prince Edward High School. I'm Kyle Hoehne. He is Dave Hoehne. Thanks so much for joining us. Week 2 of Friday Night Football. So glad to be a part of the tradition. Dave, the story so far, defense, a little bit more defense, and then some special teams sprinkled in there as well. Colonel's getting the better of it with a 24-0 advantage.
2 out of the 3 squads for Altavista doing a good job tonight. And we'll see what happens with the offense as the Colonels now line up on our right, and Prince Edward will go from left to right on your radio dial.
Colonels have pitched 2 shutouts last year, Dave. They're on pace to throw a shutout here tonight. Of course, still 12 more minutes for Prince Edward to get on that scoreboard, and I feel like the Eagles still think they have a chance in this game. Long passing play coming up on first down. Did Jacob Adams get a pick? Yes, he did. Intercepted at the 25-yard line. Adams on the return up the left sideline. High steps across the 50 and then thrown down at the 46. Jacob Adams with the interception. Flag on the play. They're probably going to get a Colonel for a block in the back on the return, but this is still going to be Altavista football. Jacob Adams on the interception. It's the 3rd pick of the game for the Altavista Colonels. It's the 6th turnover. Count them, 6. 3 fumble recoveries and 3 interceptions. I had to count them up there. Sorry.
I'm not sure if there was a block in the back or maybe there was a little retaliation after what I thought was a clean block by one of the Colonel defenders to aid Jacob Adams in his return. We'll see what the referees decide.
Quarterback Joel Thomas had a good pocket to throw from. He heaved it up down this near sideline here. Adams just out-jumped the receiver, and I believe the receiver even had his hands on it for a moment.
Adams just took it away.
He really did.
They are going to call it against Altavista.
So Adams got down to the Colonel's 48-yard line. This will back it up 15 yards. Another defensive takeaway for the Altavista Colonels. They've got 2 of them this half, 6 of them in the game, as I mentioned. They've scored on 3 of them. Lawrence Galliard with 2 interception returns for a touchdown. And then Traquan Farmer, the fumble recovery in the end zone for a TD.
Well, the Colonels will put it in play here, 1st and 10, back at their own 37-yard line. Or maybe it's the 38.
Yeah, you're close enough anyway,
in
right?
between.
37.5-yard line. Split the difference. Oscar gave me a hard time about half-yard lines once. 11:47 left to play in the fourth quarter. Fourth quarter brought to you by English's, your complete home center. End-of-season sale on Carhartt gear at English's. Great deals on the tough, durable gear that help you live the lifestyle you want. That's Carhartt exclusively at English's. Colonel's offense making its way back out on the pitch. Looks like Adams and Aiken are the wide receivers. Traquan Farmer in there to tight end. McClure in as a blocking back. Mateo Malback, the quarterback. Actually, it's 2 tight ends over there right side, it would appear. See if Malback runs there. Low snap. No, he wants to run left. Not much doing. Prince Edward D in the backfield again. There's some good sportsmanship. That's number 50, Markeem Trent, helping Malback off the turf.
I think these teams have both been pretty into the game tonight, a little pushing and shoving once in a while, but nothing too serious, really.
There's been a few isolated incidents out there, but I would argue that we've had just as many incidents of good sportsmanship like that, guys helping another guy up, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Would agree here as the Colonels get set offensively.
No huddle for the Colonels, but a bunch of the players, 9 of the 11, got together and had to figure out what the play was. Clock turning with 11 minutes. Malback wants to throw, sprints out of the pocket to his right. Now he's dropped to the turf. Looked like an ankle tackle from Trent was what finally did him in. That's a loss of 10 there for the Altavista Colonels. Going to bring up 3rd and long.
Trent's had a lot of room to get in the backfield off the right-hand side of the Colonels' offense, and he just made that ankle tackle, like you say, Kyle.
Colonels are 1 for 10 on 3rd down tonight, Dave. And with this distance, 3rd and we'll say 19. Odds are not in their favor to pick this one up, but you never know. Game isn't played on odds or on paper. Ball back, checking out the defense. Here comes the shotgun snap. Handoff play, going right up the gut. Can't tell if it's Gilbert or Pinnell. Big pile there. It was Christian Gilbert. Call it a gain of 2. Punting situation again on 4th down for the Altavista offense.
Colonels try to get it out of their own territory. Bit of a breeze out here tonight, but I don't know that it's affecting the punting game at all. Good crowd on hand for Prince Edward. They were pretty excited about winning their first game of the season. Came in here with lots of enthusiasm.
It is a nice crowd, good atmosphere for football. Rodney Kane, the athletic director here at Prince Edward, greeted us, and he always puts on a great show here.
Nice punt.
It is a good kick. It'll land on the 35. High bounce picked up on the 30-yard line. This looks like Trey Scott on the return. Rough stuff out of bounds there on the far sideline near the Colonel's bench as Scott was shoved out of bounds. Not entirely sure what happened.
He flew over the bench, jumped over it, really, and one of the Colonel defenders right behind him who was in pursuit. I don't know if they what happened over there, but penalty flags did come out.
It's again over there on the baseball infield on the far side of the field from our perspective. That's where the Colonel's bench is set up. Colonels have bleachers over there for the visiting fan section, and there is quite a few Altavista fans that have made the trip. We've sent some shout-outs to the ones that didn't. Officials talking it over as we speak. See what kind of yardage they step off, if any. They leave it right here. Prince Edward will start from their own 48-yard line. They're not starting where the first down stick is set up, though, Dave. It's sort of interesting right now and confusing.
And Prince Edward is lined up at about the 41-yard line, but the referees are still talking. They're going to step this off against Altavista deep.
Yep, 15 yards against Altavista. It's at least the 3rd unsportsmanlike conduct penalty that the Colonels have had. This places the ball on the Altavista 30-yard line. Excellent field position here for Prince Edward, their first drive of the fourth quarter. We've got 9:23 remaining in the football game. 24-0, Altavista on top. Colonel's backers showing blitz. Joel Thomas wants to change the play. He'll throw. Screen pass going over here to the right side. It's caught by Anil Walker. Walker makes a defender miss. Hit hard there by Malbeck and Ethan Young, and now brought down. Crafty little play there from Prince Edward, though. They saw the blitz coming. I think Thomas might have changed that play on his own. Smart play there.
Yeah, and Neal sidestepped a couple of tacklers and picked up some good yardage to further pin the Colonels back near their goal line.
2nd and 3 coming up for Prince Edward, clad in the all-purple. Purple everything except for the shoes, and some guys have white socks. Passing play again. Thomas wants to throw. Football's out. Football is out, and Tevin Pearman has it. Now he lost it. I think Prince Edward got it back. Pearman had that ball momentarily, and then he lost it. Picked up by a lineman for Prince Edward. That's Isaiah Marshall that either took it away from Tevin Pearman or scooped it up when he lost it.
That all happened so quickly. I think it was Galliard in on the hit that caused the ball to fly up in the air from the quarterback.
You're absolutely right. Galliard was coming in virtually untouched and got a hand on the would-be Joel Thomas pass. 3rd and 11 now. See if the Colonels defense can produce again. Running play. They give it to Anil Walker. He's going nowhere. Might have picked up a yard over there on the right side behind right guard and tackle. He'll get up slowly, but he's okay under his own power. 4th and 11 now for Prince Edward. It would appear that they're going for it, Dave.
Good stop in there in the middle by Ethan Young, number 55 for Altavista.
Can't say that I blame Prince Edward for going for this one here. They're trailing 24-0 with just over 7.5 minutes to play. You got to try something.
Yeah, take the gamble.
Thomas going to look over the defense. Shotgun snap on the way. He catches, got some time to throw. Looking down far sideline, up in the end zone. Ball batted high in the air, and then it bounced on the ground. There were actually 2 Prince Edward players racing after it. It was Trey Scott and also Brian Moses. Jacob Adams there to help break up the pass again on the near sideline.
It looked like Adams might be beat, but he caught up in a hurry and tipped the ball away.
Make-up speed will do that. That's a 4th down. Turnover on downs. Second time the Colonels have done that this half. They'll take over.
Adams shakes hands with a couple of the receivers for Prince Edward on that one as they both thought they put in a good effort. Just came up a little bit short for Prince Edward.
Colonels will scrimmage here from their own 30-yard line. 7 minutes and 30 seconds remaining in regulation. Altavista on top, 24-0.
The way the Colonels' offense has performed, Prince Edward had very little to lose trying it on 4th down.
Great point. Everybody from Prince Edward packed up tight again. Even the safety was on the line of scrimmage that time. Misdirection play. They give it to Shaheem Pinelli. Had some room outside. Started left, then cut back to the right behind a pulling guard there. It's a 5-yard pickup, maybe even a little bit more when they finally get the football reset. Yeah, call it 7 yards.
only focus, and each customer is so important. So for your small business, construction, and personal loan needs, think of me and think of us first. That's local First National Bank. We'll help you bring home more bacon. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Now back to the action with Colonel Sports on 105.5 KD Country.
Joel Thomas, the quarterback for the Prince Edward Eagles, walks off under his own power. He hit the deck hard. And if he was a boxer, we'd say he has a good chin, Dave, because he's taken some quality shots tonight from the Colonel's defense.
Kind of holding his hands up the side of his helmet where maybe he got his bell rung a little bit out there.
Never want to see that. Looks like Zion Lewis back in there at quarterback on 3rd and 10. He'll fake the handoff, keeps it himself. Stutter set move. Now tries to shake away from the defense. Riley Bradley with good contain out there on the outside. Helped out by Josh McClure. 4-yard gain. It's going to bring up 4th and 5.
Zion has some good speed. Pretty shifty.
Sure does. So it's going to be 4th and a long 5, maybe even 4th and 6 yards. We're under 3 minutes to play in the ball game. Colonels lead 24-0. Subway post-game show. We'll have a lot of good things. Make sure you stick around for that. 4th down here. Another one for the Colonels defense. Let's see if they can get the football back this time. Prince Edward's converted 1 4th down by the penalty this drive. Lewis wants to throw. Does get rid of it. Right-handed thrower completes the pass to Trey Scott. Scott scampered out of the first tackle. Never thought he was down, but it looked like he had a knee on the turf. Jordan Spinner was there. Traquan Farmer was there. And Mateo Malback as well. I think he's got enough for the first down, doesn't he, Dave?
Let's see where the spot is, but the Colonel's coming in an all-out blitz on that play.
He does have enough. They moved the chains. It was pretty close. I think if it was a closer ball game, Dave, they might have measured, but 24-0, they just sort of eyeballed, said that it was enough. Colonel's got some subs in on defense, but, of course, again, they do want to preserve this shutout. That's got to be a point of pride right now for Mike Revis and his defensive unit. Prince Edward offensive line took some time to get set. Here's the handoff. It's a new ball carrier, number 25, Jason Dupe. Newer ball carrier anyway. And he is thrown down for a short gain. 5-yard pickup, 150 left to play in the English's 4th quarter.
Colonels with some more substitutions there is number 6. Is that 60 coming in?
Let me find out for you. I'm on the scene. I believe it was number 50, Daniel Triplett.
50, okay.
Zion Lewis going to keep it himself. Stiff arm along the right sideline. Bounced out of bounds by a couple would-be tacklers. Riley Bradley was there. Mateo Malback was there. And the aforementioned number 50, Daniel Triplett, was over there.
Close to the first down for the Eagles.
Figured 3rd and 1, maybe even less than 1 here. 1:27 remaining on the clock in the 4th quarter. 24-0 advantage for Altavista. They travel to Greensville County next week. High school located in Emporia. Zion Lewis looks to his left, makes sure the receivers have the play. There's 2 on each side. They'll snap this ball from the near side hash mark. Handoff goes to a Neil Walker. Walker hit hard by Malback. Nice job by Mateo Malback. Really reading the play well. He had some help from Josh McClure on the stop.
Good anticipation by Mateo as he knifed in there and hit the ball carrier low.
It is enough for a first down, though, however, for Prince Edward. Chains will move with 1:20 left to play in the ball game.
Stops the clock as they move the chains.
Give you a preview of one score, Dave. Appomattox beat Rustburg 17-6. Interesting there in a tight ball game between two teams that the Colonels will see later on. Passing play here for Lewis on first down. Ball tipped and maybe intercepted at the goal line by the Colonels. Does Jordan Spinner have it? Yes, he does. That's an interception for the Colonels. Altavista football. It was deflected by, I believe, Lawrence Galliard. Spinner made a diving catch there around the goal line. And Altavista has another interception. Their 7th defensive takeaway of the night. Galliard has 2 picks. Adams has a pick. Now add Jordan Spinner to that list.
And we know the Eagles like to pass, so the Colonels were making the most of it tonight. And Spinner was in the right place at the right time.
Good athletic play, too. I don't even know how he saw the football. Maybe he didn't. Maybe it just appeared in his hand somehow. Altavista's going to snap this ball. It looks like they've got him on the 2-yard line. but still in the shadow of their own goalpost. I guess if you gave up a safety, it would still be considered that the defense had a shutout, right?
Yeah.
If you gave away points on offense. Colonels are going to take a timeout just to make sure they've got the play right. Let's take the timeout with them. 64 seconds remaining in the football game. Altavista leading 24-0 on 105.5 KD Country.
It's cold in here. Will your heating system keep you warm this winter, or will you spend a cold evening shivering under the covers? Have your heating system inspected today by Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling. Kent Tyree has over 20 years experience and specializes in heating, air, plumbing, and electrical. Licensed and bonded. Call for an appointment today. 309-2266. 309-2266. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling.
Your home for Colonel sports coverage. 105.5 KD Country.
We return to Prince Edward County High School in Farmville. Colonels football after their 4th interception of the game, 7th takeaway of the game for this very good Colonels defense. Christian Gilbert in there at quarterback, standing about 4 yards deep in his own end zone. Going to dart off to the right there, does pick up 1 yard. They just wanted to alleviate some of that pressure, Dave, and make sure they don't give up a safety.
Good call by the Altavista coaching squad. Work it out. Don't take any big chances here and preserve the shutout.
I mean, they're going to get the win. We've got 45 seconds left in the ball game. They lead 24-0. If a bad snap does happen here and you have to give up 2 or even 6 or 7, it's still going to be a Colonel's victory. But that 0 just looks so much better on the scoreboard. They milked the clock right. This could be the last play they have to run. Ooh, Gilbert got hit in the backfield. He had to surge forward. He did break the line of scrimmage there, I believe. No gain or maybe just a 1-yard pickup. They'll spot the ball. We're down to 13 seconds. Colonels do not have to run another play. It's going to be an Altavista win on the road, 24-0, and it was all defense and special teams for the Colonels. What a victory here to move Altavista to 2-0 on the 2016 season. We'll be back to talk about it right after this Subway postgame show when you return to 105.5 KD Country.
Hello, this is Jerry Miley from 1433 Altavista Moose Center. Asking everybody to come on down and join us and see what the Moose is all about to help us support our Moose Heart, Moose Haven family. Anybody's welcome to come down and take a tour of our building and see what's going on. Come on down and we'll let you in and we can have some fun. We're looking forward.
Meet Jerry and the rest of the Altavista Moose family and become a member. The Altavista Moose Family Center on Lynch Mill Road.
English is so much more. English is more than a hardware store. English is.
My friends may call me the perfectionist, but at English's Building Supply, my neighborhood Davis paint dealer, they greet me by name. You see, I like to get things done exactly right, especially when it comes to my many painting projects. So I'm at English's Building Supply a lot, whether it's mixing the perfect Davis paint for my project or offering great incentives. They do business just the way I like it, perfectly. English's on North Main Street, Altavista.
Napa know-how. Pennzoil Platinum Synthetic Motor Oil for just $4.99 a quart at Napa is filled with super smart oil technology. But I'm not an oil scientist, so I can't explain all that. However, I am smart enough to know that grabbing Pennzoil Platinum Synthetic for only $4.99 a quart is a smart deal. That's Napa know-how. Napa know-how. General states pricing. Sales prices do not include applicable state, local taxes, or recycling fees. Offer expires 9/30/16.
Brought to you by Napa of Altavista, proud supporter of the Altavista Colonels.
Good food, low prices, and great service keep customers coming back for more day after day at El Cazador Mexican Restaurant in Altavista. El Cazador is now open all afternoon, so you can come by anytime, any day, 11 a.m. till 10 p.m. El Cazador Mexican Restaurant, a great place to unwind and relax with friends. Open 7 days a week, Main Street, Altavista. El Cazador thanks you for your business.
Your station for high school sports play-by-play is 105.5 KD Country.
Subway postgame show has arrived. The Colonels have arrived at a victory. They win 24-0 over the Prince Edward Eagles in a defensive-minded football game, Dave. If you've been listening all game, you're probably sick of hearing that by now. But if you joined us late, This one was a defensive battle in every sense of the word. Colonels could only muster 4 first downs in the ball game. Prince Edward got up to 10, but it got to a point there where some of those didn't really matter, and some of that was the bend but don't break defense from Altavista. Colonels, 3 fumbles, 4 interceptions, scored on 3 of them. The other 3 points came from the foot of a 40-yard Nick Boley field goal. Strange game in a lot of respects, Dave.
It certainly was. It's kind of hard to explain it if you didn't see it, I guess. The Eagles were their own worst enemy, or maybe you give credit to the Altavista defense for being so opportunistic. But certainly Lawrence Galliard and the rest of the Colonel's defense prevented the Eagles from getting into the end zone. There were a number of penalties on both sides, and some of them some pretty significant penalties that particularly handicapped the Altavista Colonels offense.
Yeah, Colonels, again, struggled with the penalties, and that's something that the coaching staff is going to continue to work on and address. But, defensively, Lawrence Galliard started the party with an interception in the first quarter for a touchdown, 45-yarder. He added another one in the second quarter for a touchdown, a 43-yarder. Then on the next kickoff, Colonels hit the return man from Prince Edward, who had bobbled the kickoff just a little bit. Altavista swarmed. They hit him. They knocked the football loose, and Traquan Farmer came up with the ball in the end zone for 6 more points. Nick Boley, perfect 3 for 3 on the extra points tonight. He banged home a 40-yard field goal. That was in the late stages of the third quarter. Colonels had a few drives on offense where they got some things going, Dave, but for the most part, it was a defensive-minded kind of night. We gave credit to the Prince Edward Eagles defense. We probably need to give just as much credit to the Altavista Colonels defense. It was one of those football games. I know both coaches would like to have scored on offense and gotten more yards, but just that kind of night tonight.
Just couldn't figure it out, and the defenses played real well. And maybe that's a fair expectation for early in the season, just the second game. Sometimes it takes a little longer for your offense to click, although last week the Colonels' offense did pretty well, but they did well on particularly 3 big plays.
Yeah, different teams, different matchups, and you're right. The Colonels did use the big play a little bit last week. So that's a valid point by you. Let's take a quick time out here in the Subway post-game show. We'll bring it back. We'll tell you some more about this ball game. We'll get you some score updates from other ball games, and we'll tell you about Subway again. Gosh, we could talk about that all night. Colonels, a winner here. They go to 2-0 on the 2016 season. A 24-0 shutout victory over Prince Edward. You heard it all live on 105.5 KD Country.
PCM Industrial of Altavista offers mobile welding and repair services, fully equipped service trucks and certified craftsmen, and quick response to satisfy your needs. Contact PCM Industrial at powerconstruction.com. PCM Industrial is a fully insured Class A licensed contractor, OSHA and MSHA compliant. PCM Industrial Services of Altavista wishes Coach Sharness and the Altavista Colonels football team good luck in another winning season.
Get on the winning team and come find one of a kind. If you're looking for a new dining experience, try Piece of Pie on Broad Street. Come check out the great selection of local craft beers and enjoy a delicious barbecue meal at Two Sisters Tap Room, or sample a bottle of traditional mead from Vassir Mead Works, one of 12 meaderies in the state. An invitation from the Altavista Office of Economic Development. More information online at altavistaontrack.net.
Finch and Finch Funeral and Cremation Service. A family serving families since 1905.
Life is full of opportunities to show someone we love them. One such opportunity is the funeral or memorial service. Finch and Finch helps you celebrate the relationships they shared and honors the memory of your loved one.
Finch and Finch Funeral and Cremation Service. A family serving families since 1905.
What do basketball, choir, drama club, and marching band all have in common? They're all high school activities that offer learning opportunities not necessarily found in the classroom. They take up just a fraction of a typical Virginia high school's budget, and they go a long way to giving young people the tools they need to thrive. High school activities, they're more than extracurricular. They're extra important, too.
Brought to you by English Construction Company with offices in Lynchburg.
How do we make a better sandwich at Subway? Our new chicken Caesar melt is a great example. We start with tender rotisserie-style chicken that's raised without antibiotics. Top it with a savory Caesar sauce and add melted provolone and a sprinkle of Parmesan cheese for a flavor that's so deliciously unique, it redefines what a better sandwich should taste like. The all-new chicken Caesar melt from Subway. Limited time only.
More live high school sports action on 105.5 KD Country.
Subway postgame show returns. You can eat fresh at two great locations in Altavista, Main Street, also inside the Walmart on the Clarion Road. And don't forget the weekend special at those locations and the Gretna locations. It's 2 footlongs for $6. Any 2 footlongs for just $6 at the Altavista locations and the Gretna location. That's not a typo. It's not a mistake. I've got the number 2 and the number 6 in there in the proper order. And it's 2 footlongs for $6.
2. Count them.
Count them. 2 footlongs. Think about how much food you can get. Think about if you got a family of 4.
Yeah, you got
$12.
Relatives coming in over the weekend.
Or maybe just eat them yourself. One day, or one for lunch on Saturday, one for dinner Saturday.
You can save them.
You can save them. Absolutely, you can save them.
You take care of the whole weekend.
I love it. I love it. If you were really, well, anyway, I was going to say you could eat the whole week. I don't no guarantees on how long that stuff stays fresh, but you always eat fresh at Subway, and we'll leave it at that. The scoring tonight for the Altavista Colonels. Lawrence Galliard, a 45-yard touchdown interception return for a TD. Lawrence Galliard had a 43-yard interception touchdown return for a TD. Not a typo there either. He did it twice. Once in the first quarter, once in the second. Traquan Farmer scooped up a fumble in the late stages of the second quarter for a touchdown. Nick Boley kicked a 40-yard field goal. He was also 3 for 3 on the extra points. That's the 24-0 deficit for Prince Edward. They didn't score. They grabbed some yards and some first downs, but the Prince Edward offense also turned the ball over 7 times to Altavista. One of them was on the special teams play there from Farmer, but Galliard had 2 picks. Farmer with a fumble recovery. Jonathan Montague with a fumble recovery. Tevin Pierman with a fumble recovery. Jacob Adams had an interception, and Jordan Spinner had an interception. That's hard to keep that all straight there for the Colonels D, Dave.
That is a lot of defense tonight. There's no doubt about that, and the Colonels needed it because the offense just couldn't get on track for whatever reason.
I think
give Prince Edward some credit.
Yeah, give Prince Edward's defense some credit as well. Maybe the difference is that the Colonels didn't turn the ball over. The Colonels did have to punt plenty of times. They lost the football on downs one time, but they held on to the ball. There was a few moments there where the football got on the ground because of a low snap or a bad snap, etc. Altavista found a way to hold on to it. So that's got to be a feather in the Colonel's cap there. And I think certainly the fact that you know your defense can bail you out in a game like this has got to be some positive momentum for the Colonels.
And we said it before, the Colonels without a couple of their key starters from last week who were banged up a little bit. Hopefully they'll be back next week. But the defense showed up tonight.
Defense did show up in fine form. Special teams in there as well. Another quick timeout on the Subway post-game show. Well, before we go to a timeout, Dave, let me give you some scores here to chew on a little bit during the break. Appomattox beat Rustburg 17-6. You heard that one already. Heritage grabbed a 34-7 win against Northside. EC Glass is up on Halifax 27-0 in the fourth quarter. Our other Campbell County neighbor, the Brookville Bees, got a victory 41-7 over Western Albemarle. The William Campbell Generals lost 42-22. Central Lunenburg with the win there. Tunstall is up late on Gretna 20-14. Ball game's got about 3 minutes left. Chatham is up 4 on Buckingham in the early part of the fourth quarter. Patrick Henry leads JF 31-28. Liberty got a 1-point victory over Rockbridge. So some good football out there and some games still to be decided. Maybe we'll find a final there during the timeout here on the Subway postgame show. We return with player of the games. We'll talk a little bit about next week. Colonels win 24-0 on 105.5 KD Country.
No one knows trucks like we know trucks. Come see us and you'll agree. From small to tall, we've got it all. Highview Motors, GMC. Come on in and bring the family. See your friends at Highview Motors. Highview Motors, GMC. From small to tall, we've got it all. Highview Motors, GMC.
Compassionate Care Choices, Autumn Care, 24-hour skilled nursing, inpatient, outpatient, physical, occupational, and speech therapies. Autumn Care invites you to tour their facility in 2016, receiving the Bronze Quality by the American Healthcare Association. 5-star rating by Centers for Medicare Medicaid Services. Autumn Care, a member of Sabre Healthcare Group, serving Altavista and surrounding areas since 1989.
Altavista High School football is brought to you by Steve Farmer Auto Sales. Steve Farmer Auto Sales, where there's always a good selection of cars, trucks, and SUVs, and they're priced right with financing available. See Steve Farmer Auto Sales, 1112 Main Street, Altavista, the next time you get ready to make a change. Steve Farmer Auto Sales, best deals on wheels.
Introducing D.L. Bryant Heating and Cooling. A name you've grown to trust, Donnie Bryant is back with D.L. Bryant Heating and Cooling. As an American Standard dealer, D.L. Bryant Heating has the tools and the talent to handle all of your heating and cooling issues, large or small. Call 841-1580. That's 841-1580 for D.L. Bryant Heating and Cooling. Call 841-1580 for a name you can trust, Donnie Bryant and D.L. Bryant Heating and Cooling.
Back to the press box for high school sports on 105.5 KD Country.
Final segment of the Subway postgame show has arrived. One more time, 2 footlongs for $6 at both Altavista locations and the Gretna location of Subways. 2 footlongs for $6. That's a weekend special, though, Saturday and Sunday only. You can't get that deal all the time, but take advantage of it when you can get it. I'm Kyle Hoehne. He is Dave.
Filling in for Oscar Briggs tonight. Appreciate the opportunity for Oscar to let me be here.
Yeah, he just wanted you to get back in the saddle a little bit. Oscar will take the trip down to Greensville County with me. Greensville County was a playoff team last year, Dave, at the 2A level. Altavista handled them pretty good. That was in Altavista, though, and Greensville had to make the long drive. You buy into that sometimes, that long drive can make you kind of sluggish and hard to play?
Well, it could. I have to think that the Altavista coaching staff has plenty of experience and can generally be able to overcome that sort of thing. I don't think there's any magic that goes into it, but the coaches have been doing this long enough that they've figured out these bus rides.
Yeah, that's a valid point by you, and one that I'm going to agree with. I think, at least in the recent history anyway, Colonels haven't had a problem, playing road games, playing on the road against people. I mean, heck, if you need to go back to look at last year, Colonels were on a 4-game losing streak, and they took the long bus ride up to Rappahannock and pitched a shutout up there. So I think you're right. I think the coaches have got it figured out, and I think they'll have a good game plan going into next week against Greensville County. Subway pregame show starts at 6:30 for that one, of course. Kickoff at 7. Hope you'll join us if you're not making that long trip. It's going to be a lot of fun.
You were mentioning Greenville is a 2A school.
Yes.
And the same with Prince Edward, right. A 2A school. And the good part about that is as the season goes along and the teams accumulate points, you get more points in the ratings for a win over a 2A team than you do a single A team.
Certainly a good thing to point out by you. Everything for the playoffs now based on those power points. There was a time when it didn't necessarily work that way, or even a time when if you won your district, you got an automatic playoff berth. No more of that. It's all just the power points, and you get seeded based on that. And, of course, 1A East region like the Colonels are in, they're only taking 12 teams now. So never hurts to rack up those points when you can, especially when you got names like Rustburg and Appomattox and Dan River and Gretna on the schedule.
There'll be tough competition for the Altavista Colonels. And another note here in the post game, the Altavista Marching Band, or the Marching Colonels, I guess is the proper name, performed a post game show here at Prince Edward High School. And that was something a little different. They rode over here to be part of the celebration of the Colonels' victory tonight.
Yeah, pretty neat there. The Prince Edward Band obviously performed the national anthem and the halftime show. And both teams played a little bit during the timeouts and the quarter breaks and those kind of things. But very gracious by Prince Edward High School to let the Colonels Marching Band take the field after the game and put on a little impromptu mini performance there. Of course, the Colonels are getting geared up for their performance schedule, and obviously all the home games too, and sounded pretty good after the game. You get the two bands, you get football. It's worth the price of admission here at Prince Edward High School.
It'll be 2 weeks before the Colonels get back home, and I don't know whether the band will go on the long road trip next week or not. Probably not. So fans can look forward to seeing the Colonels come back to Altavista.
Good stuff. Good stuff there. Band under the direction of Mario Ruiz. I think he's in his third or fourth year now, but the band sounding as good as ever. Player of the game time now on the Subway post-game show, unless you have some other thoughts about the ball game.
No, let's go on.
He waved me off. He put up the stop sign there. All right. I usually go first. I guess I should make you go first. I should take this opportunity to break free from the chains that Oscar shackles me with, but I'll go first. That's just a joke, OB. For Prince Edward. Gosh, I liked what a lot of these guys did. They have so many talented players. There's some different directions that you could go. I'm going to go with a guy that was on the defensive line there, Dave, and played some offensive line, but he was in the Colonel's backfield a lot. I'm going Markeem Trent, the senior number 50. He seemed to be, if he wasn't tackling those Colonel ball carriers before they got started, he was at least slowing them down, letting his other defensive mates get in on the stop. So I'm going Markeem Trent.
Well, that's a good call, and the defense for Prince Edward should get some recognition. I'll go a little different direction. It's kind of hard offensively to single out one particular player because they had several guys that ran the ball well, and, of course, the quarterback threw some decent passes, although the Colonels were able to be opportunistic and take care of some of those errant throws. I'm going to go with Neil Walker, just a junior, but he particularly early in the game sparked the Prince Edward ground game and continued throughout the ball game to run hard and pick up some yardage. He was pretty elusive. He's not the biggest guy out there, but he was a big force in the Prince Edward offense.
I like your pick there. He was fun to watch run. You know, he's one of those guys, had the fast feet, good cuts, hard runner, and I think he's going to have some successful days, nights, for sure. We got to go on the other side now for the Altavista Colonels. Dave was commenting in the timeout there that he thought this was going to be pretty easy. I think I know where you're going with that, and I think I might have to agree. Let's be honest here. The Colonels' defense was great. The Colonels' offense, not so great, but the defense did what they had to do, and this man was a big part of it. My pick here, I'm going to go with Lawrence Galliard. It's not all about the scoring, but how do you deny when a guy runs 2 long interceptions back for touchdowns? And as we both pointed out, Lawrence was in on a lot of stops. He was pressuring the quarterback. I mean, Lawrence was really the complete package tonight.
Yeah, it isn't just about the scoring, although that's the stuff that will get the headlines. I think it also, the scores gave the Colonels momentum, particularly in that first half, to play. Even though the offense sputtered, it still gave the team the momentum and the positive feelings that you need to have out there on the field, that they were able to take those turnovers and make some scores. And you're right, Lawrence played some good defense. When he wasn't intercepting the ball, he was in on a lot of tackles or pressures.
Sure, and I think that last interception that the Colonels had, the Jordan Spinner interception, I think Lawrence got a hand on that and sort of deflected it over there. Maybe not intentionally, but certainly got in the passing lane. Good pick there by us and a great game from Lawrence Galliard. Hope you enjoyed the ball game. We know some of you listen all game. Some of you just pop in. Maybe you're on the way home in the car from your football game. Hope you had a nice night on a mild Friday. Eleanor and Katie are fabulous sound engineers. They did everything right tonight. We thank them so much. Thank Mike Sharnes for the interview earlier in the evening. And Had fun with the shout-outs. Let's get some more next week. We're on the road to Greensville County. Subway pregame show at 5:30. Kickoff at 7. Agent Zero Oscar Briggs will be back with me. We'll surely have a lot of fun. And these folks make it all possible. They bring you Colonels football exclusively on KD Country. People like D.L. Bryant Heating and Cooling. Call Donnie at 841-1580. Highview Motors, GMC. From small to tall, Highview has it all. Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Service, a family serving families since 1905. Autumn Care of Altavista, specializing in 24-hour skilled nursing care, physical, speech, and occupational therapy. The Altavista Office of Economic Development, we invite you to come find one of a kind. PCM Industrial Services, now with mobile welding and repair service. Fellers Chevrolet, now offering a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. First National Bank, helping you bring home more bacon. English is your complete home center, now offering a complete line of Carhartt clothing for men. They open at 8 a.m. on Saturdays, Dave. We did that research last week, and our KD Country superfan Callie Morgan informed us it's an 8 a.m. opening time at English's on Saturday. Carhartt gear on sale, too. Christmas is coming up. I'm just saying I wear a size large, okay? I'll leave it at that.
What color?
Now you're thinking. Most everybody else just stays silent. Napa Auto Parts of Altavista. Find your Napa know-how on Main Street in Altavista. Steve Farmer Auto Sales. Best deals on wheels. El Cazador, Altavista's original Mexican restaurant. English Construction, wishing our high school athletes an exciting and injury-free game. The Moose Family Center. Visit the Moose Family Center in Altavista to join and be a Moose. And Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, keeping you cool in the summer, warm in the winter, and comfortable in between. Dave, this has been a blast. We should do this again sometime. Might have to wait till basketball season, but you're welcome anytime.
Well, if you want me to wait that long, I can. But I was just noticing as you were reading the list there, I don't know all of the sponsors personally, but of those that I do, many of them were former Altavista Colonel football players.
That's a great point. That's pretty neat, isn't it?
It is. I don't know why I didn't think of it before, but just thinking about the different people there, that many of them played for the Altavista Colonels.
Well, the Colonels have always had great support from the community. We've always had support from the community. We couldn't do it without the sponsors, and you're right. It's a lot of former Colonels. It's a lot of football fans, and it's a lot of people that just, want to support high school sports, not only in Altavista, but Central Virginia. We have a lot of people from the opposing teams listen to. It's a fun tradition to be a part of.
And there's people all around the world listening to our internet broadcast, either on our website or the TuneIn application. And we appreciate those folks a whole lot. And I hope they're still with us to hear this announcement. And, of course, if people do miss the game or want to hear certain parts of it again, we'll have it posted on YouTube. That's sponsored by Feller Chevrolet.
It's great to go back and listen to those games. Pretty much anything basketball and football from about the last 5 years is there. So, sometimes during the week when you want to get jonesed up about the game on Friday night, you just go listen to one of those Colonel State Championships or something like that, and that'll get you going.
Well, sometimes people are traveling out of town, particularly on this holiday weekend.
That's right. A lot of things to do tomorrow. Got the tractor pull in Gladys. Got the classic car show in Altavista. Hope you have fun. Hope you have a great Labor Day. Enough reminiscing and romantic stuff for us. We'll get you back to the real country that you know and love. I'm Kyle Hoehne. He's Dave Hoehne. Colonels win 24-0. You heard it all live on 105.5 KD Country.